Welcome
Welcome
to Timeline Talks.
to the Timeline Talks.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live in Technicolor from the beautiful Hollywood Hills, California. The show where the total retail price of their advice is $0. This is Timelines Talk. Featuring guest stars, Morph action figure collector, Kapla, It's Stars and Garden. Also featuring Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Look out, it's Automaton 2000. And now, the man with the chatter, he doesn't have a bladder. Here's your host, Captain Idol.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, to Timelines Talks, the premium, exclusive, #1 show for all things Star Trek Timelines. I am your host, Captain Idle, and I am joined by the bright primary colours, the Teletubbies of the Star Trek Timelines world. We are here. Also, big stars. We're back in business. Yeah. Guys, how the devil are you this week?
3 minutes before we went live, I shamed them into changing into bright primary colors so that we would look cute together on camera.
No, see, the thing is, it's like I had this shirt, which was going to be, it's from my vacation when we went to St. Louis and we saw the arch and all that stuff. But no, off to the side, because I've got to be on theme.
I mean, if it makes you feel any bit big, you and Idol will be safe when you go down on the away team.
Damn it, I'm dead.
Yeah, Otto's super fucking dead. Yeah. And then I have to roll him over. The camera will dramatically zoom in. I'll be like, nothing doing.
Well, we've got a fun-packed show for you tonight and a lot of catching up to do because we are going to be talking about the Fleet Boss Battle updates and stuff like that, the new campaign that came out, the Collection Bonanza, Limited Treasures, Nichelle Nichols unfortunately passing away, and a few other things, including talking about the latest Lower Decks Mega, which we haven't discussed. But first, we have to... But first.
Shout out to Pahura's cats, all 57 of them. If they could vote, we would be in office right now because Absolutely. They watch us every week. So hello to them.
Thank you, cats. And this is a special one for you. Mew. Good girl. Right. Let's spin that wheel. Yeah, this is what I prepare for. Where is the wheel? Here is the wheel. Let's spin it. So thank you for everyone that submitted show titles. Cranky was the winner this week with the Shaxs related title, which I need to look at because I forgot what it was. Love Shaxs. Oh yeah, Love Shaxs. Baby love Shaxs. Let's spin this wheel. Oh, my spin wheel button's disappeared. Hang on, my spin wheel button.
I was going to say, that's a image artifact right there. That's full professionalism.
We still have the audience. Eric Nelson! I will sort you out very soon with a wondrous sub for the show as well. But yes, the other thing we need to do is celebrate the last 2 weeks' worth of event winners. So, first off, congratulations to the Big Book's very own, the constructor, the god of the Big Book world, No Name Namer, for becoming #1 in the Corrupted Badgie event. Good man. Other notable names we've seen. Number 4, AJ Walk 9. Number 5, this Cisco Cream King. Number 6, Bry. Number 10, Captain Sheridan. 11, Jim Berlin. 12, Asimov. 15, Gazoo. 18, Gandoza. 19, Black Knight. 26, Flush. 28, Icknamer. 31, 13-Hour Voyager, James T. Kirk from the Junkies Fleet. Number 40, We Are Borg. Coming on to last week, congratulations to Flash for winning 5-5, Tendy, and The Dog. Other notable names: number 4, Pinkskin. Number 6, Evans of Wales. Number 15, Asimov. 19, Sunkatse Siete. 23, Black Knight. 27, Jamel. 29, Danjavin. 37, Ishmael Marks. 43, We Are Borg. And 46, Bry 2.
Do you ever,
I was just going to say, at what point are you just going to be reading the entire top 50?
If I'm reading the entire top 50 because they are in our Discord contributing and chatting with us, then I will be happy because we have a lot of people that are our friends.
It's true.
I'm alright with him doing it because it means there's more chance of flubs that we can make fun of. Do you also realize, like, when you read off all the names so closely compacted like that, man, we name ourselves some silly shit in these things, don't we?
We do.
I am especially guilty of that.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, man, like, yeah, and like number 19, Suncat Siete, normal. Black Knight, yeah, that's pretty. Pink Skin.
He's a real fan.
I really wish some of the joke ones would come on, like sneeze, feed, and seed. I would love to say that every week.
Bowel movement.
Bowel movement's the best.
Yeah. I wish I could remember some more right now, but I can't.
No, that's so good. If you've got
the Seaman Gauntlet.
Seaman Gauntlet, that's a different thing. Sorry.
Woo!
We're getting hot already.
Idle.
And we're off.
Anyway, before we go too blue already, let's talk about the fleet boss battle update that we've had. Well,
someone clip that.
You'll get another chance in about 30 seconds. Don't worry.
Absolutely, yeah. Unless I talk, the more I drink. Yes, there have been some updates to Fleet Boss Battles and a few more sort of strategies and sort of different challenges that people have came across since we last spoke about this. One of the notable ones I'd just like to point out is, for those that don't know, at Captain's level 13, Captain's Bridge level 13, you will need Bellitrium 3, which you can only get in the Ultra Nightmare campaign. So if you're thinking you can coast on a little bit more, maybe get that Phantom McCoy, no, your fleet will need to start doing Ultra Nightmare boss battles for your Captain 13 bridge. So a little bit of a bummer there, because that's for a lot of fleets, like getting to Nightmare and Brutal is hard for a lot of casual fleets and some even sort of well-established fleets I've seen. But, Ultra Nightmare, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, it's a shame. I've settled into a really nice groove in the hurt me plenty with difficulty, but Ultra Nightmare is up there too.
Oh yeah, we could just
you just need to unlock the BFG, and then all things.
Yeah, clearly.
IDDQD, IDKFA.
Oh yes, classics.
Turn yourself into a heretic chicken.
That's better than half.
Where's the cow level in this? Can we do that?
Oh, that's when we fight the 1937 Ford.
Dude,
yeah.
Okay, if they actually... hold on, I got to pull chat and you talk about that.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Spotswood, Evans Wells, yes. SSR are beating Ultra Nightmare daily. You guys SSR are just basically throwing themselves at this and seem to be leading the pack from what I've heard, so congratulations on spending on that, but yeah.
Thank you for being the community's canaries and finding out ahead of time what we need to do.
Yeah.
I mean, bully for you. I think it's just going to be kind of a drag. It seems like every fleet that has progressed along to this point has kind of found their flow of how to defeat whatever level they've gone to. Ultra's just going to be the most difficult, and you have to 100% kill the boss to get the loot that you want. So
thank you, Cranky.
Oh my lord, 10 months.
I know.
That's many months.
That is many months, so thank you for your service.
All right, pull up in chat. Let me know if you want the rest of Redford from the episode, the 37s as a boss battle.
Another fun statistic. Fuck's sake, shut
By the way, we're gonna add idle Windows noises as a sub trigger. So.
Thank you. I need to sort my Windows noises out. Hang on, let me just mute something here. Oh, there we go. Captain Mackenzie Calhoun, it's a sub-marathon. You've started a hype train. Let's do it. Meanwhile, Windows
you did tell them they had to start doing that while we were on air. You did tell them to do that.
Absolutely fine. It's the best way to get the red alert going and the Windows noises. I'm going to work out what's going on there. Anyway, shut up! Oh my god.
So your porn downloads going up at once.
Right. Another fun statistic.
He's not going to pause him for this stream. Are you crazy?
Absolutely not.
Damn right not. That's the only thing keeping it together.
Another fun statistic. You will need 60 Bellitrium 3 to complete all the levels. So you will... No, is it 60? It might be more than that. No, you'll need to do 60 days worth. So you'll need 120? I can't remember what it was. You'll need to do 2 months of Ultra Nightmare every day, basically, to be able to upgrade your Captain's Bridge to the full level, assuming you can get all the Magnesite in that time as well. So that kind of gives a rough timescale for people like who are on the Ultra Nightmare and starting to upgrade your Captain's level. You hit Bridge level 13. If you're doing Ultra Nightmare daily, you got about 2 months till you've completed it, roughly, maybe. Rough estimate.
Meanwhile, I switched accounts and now I'm screwed for the next few months.
What bridge level are you now?
3, yeah.
Oh, get that
You're
super
on
rabbit
that
hold.
little go-kart and you're looking back at that bridge that you burnt and then the multiple bridges along the previous rivers that you burnt. And you're like,
Yeah, there's like
No,
a quadruple
bridges
entendre in that
wrong.
joke, burning your bridges down.
There's bridges all the way down. Yeah, so that's looking bleak for a lot of people, and I think if they're already talking about bringing out the season 2 rewards. I think a lot of people are going to get stuck at those mid-level bridges. I mean, Frantic McCoy is at level 17. That's the one that everyone wants because he's Gauntlet Master, he's Great Voyager. It's another Blue McCoy, but the stats make up for the card.
I want him for his art idol. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what if I told you get something very similar?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just if you look at the Gauntlet recommendations page, either on Big Book or any of the other places that we have it posted, he shows up as a top 5 recommended choice almost every day. So, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, I've been looking at it for the past week or so, and every time I make a mental note of, and 3 of those are Gauntlet drops, 1 of those is a Fleet Boss Battle exclusive that no one has yet, and especially this week, hey, it's that crew that you can't get because he's the event crew for this week. It's like, I really hope you have a good secondary lineup because people who have access to all these crew are going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who does not have triple Gorath and Gorax and Galaxy or whatever.
I wonder who will be the first. I wonder who will be the first person to get first to max on McCoy. That's going to be. I wonder if anyone's already got it.
Somebody from SSR, clearly.
Possibly, but there might be someone in the background just throwing dilithium at it willy-nilly, spending.
I want it to be that they managed to do a mess up like they did with Calhire Wharf, where he turned up on someone's Darbo wheel and no one said anything. And because you can't look at him in game, no one can look at the F2M.
Oh, no,
and then someone like Frank or the Cisco is going to look at it and be like, 4 months ago? What? I want it. I want that. I want that more than anything else.
Someone did see Data and Spot on the Darbo recently. I think it might have been Siete or someone in Suncoast. Some Spot up there, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's not surprising. I didn't think.
Which we could segue then to, because they did a huge hidden trait audit.
They did, yes.
So all these super important things like mail and organic, etc.
Basic mail images, yes.
Yeah, have the correct tags. One of them, if I can scroll up while I vamp, exclusive bridge, exclusive collection. So I don't know what flag they use to prevent stuff from going into Dava, but hopefully with their new and improved processes, that mistake won't continue to happen with every single exclusive crew in the future. So we shall see.
What about a Fleet Boss Battle crew collection?
Ooh. I mean... Just because of how hard it is for people to catch up. Like, Honor Hall makes sense. Save up your honor, buy them immediately. You can do that at your leisure. This one, needing 35 other people's help, that one's going to be kind of tricky. So, for podcast listeners, do you want the Rusted Red Ford Boss Battle? 86% say, yes, don't be silly. 14% are Scrooges. They say, no, we don't want them in the game.
Only if it backfires and just wipes out the map.
Yeah.
Blue skies. Thank you, Brody, for gifting a sub to Shirepaw. Thank you. Just leaving back to the Fleet Boss battles. There's been a bit of a change in the meta. I know a lot of people started off, going for the Ardra boomsticks, but there's been a bit of a shift lately into the hull. It's kind of the secret no one wants to keep. There's a few fleets I've seen out there just going, come and join our fleet if you want to know the hidden secret of fleet boss battles. And just use hull repair crew. You'll be fine. And you can actually outlast the
secret is
boss.
Don't die.
But yeah, exactly. But the funniest thing to me was now crew first off as a Chekhov. Crew we've mocked for years, pointing Chekhov.
If you do not wish to be simply vaporized.
Yes, exactly. Yes, get yourself a Chekhov.
Vaporized.
There's a few names like Little John Riker, Dereth, and things like that. People have repair, and then putting the one tactical officer Mayweather who has a boom with no limit on there seems to be surviving nightmare. If you get, and the more bridge level you go up, it seems to be quite good. But is there anything you guys have found, or anyone in chat, that you found have been quite good on fleet boss battles in any tier, really? Because I know we'll talk about Vindicta later, because she's going to be of importance to that.
I would just say I would just say caution on investments that up until 5 minutes ago seemed terrible, because in a
That's
few
still terrible.
months, when they switch to the second season of boss battles and suddenly you can cloak your way through attacks or whatever, and they're useless again, that's foresight you ain't getting back. So be careful with those.
Yeah, because in
Yeah.
season 2 of boss battles, you find out that season 1 was just a dream the whole time. So, yeah.
Can just be a clip of JR waking up at the end of it.
So use your sights appropriately.
He's scrubbing his back, and it's a loofah in the shape of the windsock fucking doomsday machine.
By the way, before I forget, since I see him in chat, shout out to our buddy Nifty Mittens, who's been on the show several times, for the currently longest recorded voyage at 13 hours 6 minutes, I believe.
Yes,
So
congratulations.
good for you, buddy. Just happened yesterday.
Amazing. 13-hour voyage.
And I also would like to fly the flag for Mitt Nifty, because speaking of fleet boss battles, he has had the unfortunate distinction of being one of the only people I know of who has run into a really awful bug where he has not been getting a lot of his ship bonuses.
Yeah.
So all that, passive percentages of they are fake bonuses. You invest your thing, you get your percentages building up. Nada. Like, for certain people, it just is not working, and I don't believe customer service have managed to work out what the issue is quite yet, which is a bit odd. But
yeah, definitely. If you have bonuses and you don't think they're quite right, compare with the rest of everyone in your fleet or everyone in various discords. Just post them on and say, does this look right for a captain for level 13? And people will share their ones, and just make sure you're at the level, because Nifty's is bizarre. He seems to be weirdly reduced compared to everyone else.
Look at you on bridge level 13, whatever.
No, but seriously, how we discovered that it was a problem was from Nifty posting screenshots of his bonuses for the same level of bridge that we all were, and that, yes, there is a discrepancy. And it's not like some hidden one. It's like the actual percentages displayed on screen are different. So, be cognizant of that. It's like if you're doing all the same things that other people in your fleet are doing with the same crew, and you're not getting the same damage results and, things like that, don't just think that you're not doing something right. There may be something actually wrong with your account that needs to be brought to customer service's attention. Not that they seem to be able to do anything about it right now, but the more they know about it, the more that they can probably see that it needs to be problematic.
You might just be terrible too, so don't count that
That's also
out.
true. I mean, you can't rule it out. It's true, but yeah, so it is a thing.
yeah, I just want to shout that out, because I know that occasionally Ben watches this, and hey Ben, I know you guys have been doing an exemplary job of fixing some of the bugs, like the
What are you even doing
with like
over
the
there?
hidden.
Come on.
I'll shut your fucking mouth. Like, they've been doing a pretty good job of responding quickly to issues like, say, like the hidden row of traits, which should now be fixed. I haven't heard anyone complaining about that in a good little while. But something like that, that's not something that gets caught unless you go looking for it. So even if you are 100% certain that you're doing everything right, that you're getting the same damage as everyone else, just have a quick shifty. Just have a look. Just have a look. You never know.
Might as well. All right.
At worst, you'll be able to look at the long list of percentages and be like, I did that. I built this bridge. It was me. Not the 40 other people standing behind me who actually did all the nodes, and I came in with my damage, but
Hey, that's me.
But I mean, getting back to your actual question with us, it's like, no, I think the community at large has kind of all gone together, and it's a great time to be communicating with other people on Discords, either on our channel or other channels. It's a great time to have a fleet chat of some kind that's not the in-game chat, because the in-game chat is worthless, to where you can keep comparing notes. And if someone finds something and it's like, oh wow, I just jumped up an extra 1 million damage, what changed? That way everybody can kind of grow together, so we can all put the best lineups together that we can to be the most efficient that we can with our Valor.
We have on our Discord, please join it, link below. Join our Discord. We've got Fleet Boss Battles, little section on there for that. There is also a Fleet Boss Battles Discord run by Jim Berlin, which they're going through each level and trying out various things. It's quite fun to go through, and they're quite open there about people's builds and things like that. So that's worth a look. Educate yourself, look to see who's about there, and maybe consider a few retrieval options if not. Speaking of ideal retrieval options, do you know, guys, I'm very, very happy, and I think you guys know why. Because we've got the new campaign come out this month, which is celebrating. No, certainly not this.
This was at you specifically.
This is
what this
Agent Danielle. Thank you very much. This absolutely was. Thank you very much for subscribing. Enjoy some computer noises, because yes, Lieutenant J.G. Palmer is the campaign reward, or Lieutenant Gina Gray, so I always call her J.G. in my head. Mae Jameson can be yours for the campaign price. You can get yourself 4 copies of the only astronaut that's actually been into space in the game, and yes, you should have her. She's, I think, number 2 Eng-Psi base. Please, guys, just tell me how wonderful you find this card.
Anyway, moving on.
She's
Yeah, okay, she's crap, but it's Mae Jameson, so I'm happy. I will be maybe starting a 3rd copy because that's now what I do, but that's just me.
You have problems.
Lower Thor doesn't count. Man. She didn't go into Lower Thor, but she was in full.
He's talking about Shatner.
Oh, Shatner. Okay, yeah,
Shine knew they were gonna.
Yeah, it's Mae Jameson. You should. Well, maybe. Yeah, no. Oh, she's missing some traits.
You can't even finish a sentence,
No,
man.
yeah.
You can't even finish a sentence.
the in-game utility is pretty minimal.
Bad, yes.
To be generous. I mean, I think she did hit a mega once.
Explore?
Like
no,
astrophysicist mega.
She does have Explorer.
No.
I don't know why it's not showing.
No,
up
she had a single Explorer event, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah,
even
because
worse.
she's missing Explorer off that. That's
Which
the
I
only
don't
other
know why.
trait she
That might be a
has.
clipping error.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this.
So, you know.
Why is she not an astrophysicist?
That's a good point.
Because the character she's playing is a transporter chief, and they're not usually astrophysicists. But
They have to navigate
it's not
people through the
Well,
space.
and then yet Iggy Pop can be a musician. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Trait order.
But-
come on.
Yeah.
Justice.
I mean,
for
I'm
J.G. Palmer.
happy. She was a last resort behold choice for me one time, so I'll get to finish in freezer from this campaign. That's a win for me.
This campaign is, man.
Okay, let's talk about the real.
Well, hold on. So her best retrieval chance is 9%.
Oh, it's so bad.
I was looking up what other Christmas. So
Even if you wanted her, it's hard.
along with crew like the Hansons, Strahl, Technician Fisher, and Traveler Wesley. So
Wow.
if you really do want her because you like the story
Murderer's
behind
Row.
the actress, this is probably one of your better bets.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, for all that utility.
Number 2 Eng-Psi
Well,
could be useful.
I mean, you of all people can appreciate the non-gameplay reasons to
Yeah,
acquire crew.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're very much not wrong.
Sight for love.
I should
maybe
be taking
don't
shots, but it's
spend
hilarious.
maybe don't spend money for love. That might be drawing a line. But anyway,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
real...
men do it all the
That's
time. But anyway,
I take my dates to Burger King because I listen to Idol's advice.
All right, don't spend for money on love in timeline. So we should clarify that. Okay, let's talk about the actual, the ultimate campaign, the exclusive crew, which is EV Suit Mariner, Command Eng-Psi, Voyage Rank 200. Oh dear, only one collection, and I don't think our ship ability is up to much either. This is probably it might be half of what you're talking about, Stars, and this being not so great a campaign. Sorry, she is also EV Suit, obviously.
Mariner breaks
Yeah.
protocol by using magnetic boots a little too often, which explains why the Cerritos forgot her on a satellite in space. Sorry,
pretty
in
good.
space!
in space. Yeah, so I actually have a problem with this card, and I think her quote text is wrong.
Oh.
Because I rewatched, because she's from the episode of Lower Decks, which, you know, spoilers if you haven't watched it yet, it's available on all Amazon Prime, etc. Where the drill instructor has to come to Cerritos, and the reason why the drill instructor picked up on them is because they left Rutherford, Boimler, Tendi, and Mariner on a little... In fact, this is a funny little thing. They left them on a, was like an observatory, a satellite array, essentially, to go and answer a distress call. A distress call being sent out by a ship caught in a time loop. By definition, a ship that is caught in a time loop is not going anywhere. This is, by definition, the least time-sensitive thing that could happen to a starship, outside of going maybe backwards in time. So that's fine, but her quote isn't from this episode. It's from a different episode where I think she's using magnet boots for something else. But yeah, that's another part of the reason why I don't like this card. It doesn't quite. It seems to be a composite of other things. She's also just bad. She's the worst Mariner, probably even worse than the Green Star for the fact that you have to pay real money for her. Well, or you could do 6,500 dilithium and then cite her if that's something that you want to do for a voyage rank 200, even if it's a good skill set.
Well, I mean, that's what...
before you yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say that's what saves her is the skill set. I mean, saves in the biggest air quotes of all time, just because there's not a lot of competition in that specific skill order for now. But as we've seen time and time and time again, when you debut this low, it's just it's ephemeral. Yeah, you'll be replaced almost instantly.
Yeah, I feel like EV's Supercard. Oh, sorry. There you go. Yeah, I feel like EV's Supercard debuted almost exactly the same kind of rank, but he at least had Gauntlet and Inspiring in his upper card, whereas Mariner just, like we're still early in the lower decks life cycle of this game, so we don't know what her event history is going to look like. But in case you were thinking, hey, let me drop some money on this campaign and she can help out with a faction, don't bother, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't get an event boost because she's not crafty.
No.
And I think like half the crew from this mega aren't considered crafty in this crafty mega, which is probably more than half of them aren't.
It's more the other way around.
Even ones who should be, like Badgie.
This is like the Enterprise mega, where it's Enterprise and or not whatever the bonus was. Like you're picking this for the theme rather than crafty's just like, we need a trait that will do.
It was lazy on their behalf because you have a lower decks mega. You're debuting all these crew, but you don't make lower decks or animated crew the bonus. It's because they didn't want to go through the list and manually tick all the ones ahead. They just wanted to do the easy way and pick a trait. And I kind of get that, but at the same time, like, come on, you you got the license finally. Everyone's excited for it, and if they're not, then they're getting buried in downvotes in the subreddit. So it's like, and you're trying to sell this campaign, so there's lots of reasons why you could go the extra mile and make lower deck screw the bonus. So she has a nice command base, but if we're not going to get lower decks megas, you're kind of just hoping that Mariner keeps getting crammed down our throats for event bonuses if you want to use her on the weekend. Otherwise, probably not going to be strong enough there.
Yeah.
Which there has been some complaint with the amount of Mariners we've gotten all at once. Like, what I don't particularly have a problem with it, but it does seem like they've just kind of gone, here's 4 variants of Mariner, go. Because we've got the 2-star, we've got the Vindicta, we've got EV Suit and Insubordinate, 2 of which are you can get 4 or 5 with enough money. But
I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that it's kind of similar to when people were complaining about it was Janeway and then Dax and then Burnham and now Mariner. Yeah. And I kind of get it more with Mariner than with Burnham and Co, because they were usually spaced out by like a week or 2, a month or whatever, different variants. They just came fairly regularly because got to promote the new shows, right? We got 4. You could very potentially be picking up 4 different Mariners at the same time if you were claiming on the campaign. That's if you just waited until the 25,000 VP threshold, you would hit that button, you'd get 3 copies of different Mariners. It's like that is a little bit much. You could space it out, especially because what have we got? Everyone but Boimler has gotten a gold variant, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I feel like that's maybe appropriate considering what Boimler's like. And that's kind of the point is that he is the most generic like little guy, but like, guys, come on, just throw him a bone, just give him some kind of. He needs a goal at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he'll. I think the Excretus of Borg or whatever will be a goal. I think.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that variant.
They should make him like. Make him the counterpart to Locutus, where he has like the other 3 skills that Locutus doesn't, and make him the Gauntlet Master.
Yes,
I'd like that. That'd be fun.
I would love that. It's like that's what they kind of were trying to do with Suspiria and just failed utterly miserably at it. But I think basically what that was is that they just had all this stuff in the hopper waiting for the license to clear. And so it's like, okay, well, we got all this stuff in the backlog, and you're getting it all now. Both to kind of clear the decks of stuff.
Lower decks.
Yes, the lower decks, yes.
I mean,
so
it has
you could go on
resulted
to newer
in-
stuff after that.
Yeah, it has resulted in a very apart from the crafty trait, a very cohesive mega, which has been all lower decks crew, which is kind of what we.
Oh yeah,
want
the
from a
writing's
mega.
been hilarious. Also,
that as
like
well,
they've actually
yeah.
been like just stepped up.
This has
Yeah.
been a great mega.
I know
for
people
don't read
because
it,
it's and they some of them are the very good crew as well, and it's kind of been the kind of almost a great mega for that because we've had good crew to get. It's on theme. Okay, the trait actually sucks, but. It's been a fun one. It's been a good if we actually ever get round to the rating of megas, I'd put this one up high.
Well, I will tell you one idea that seems kind of novel and I really appreciate was the fact that they put a green variant of each of the crew.
Yes. Oh yes, let's get to that actually.
Once a week.
Well,
Go on.
That's fine.
No, go on.
Saru gets screwed again. We'll
Okay, let's
never
do-
ever talk about him.
All right, let's
yeah,
talk
we'll,
about
we'll,
your...
we'll put a pin in the green crew and
get
we'll
there.
finish off the campaign first.
Let me rotate through this crew because I think Saru is so far away because we've got so many crew to talk about. There we go. Kaminar
Painstakingly
Saru.
put the show notes in order, and what do? We just bounce
When
around.
have we ever compared to the show notes?
Never, ever.
Kaminar Saru is the freebie you can get this month for collections. Is very juicy for those free-to-play crew that need to fill out things like resourceful, innovator is tough, survivalist is tough, and I don't know what his fourth one is because I think it's cut off. But hey ho,
Jury rigger.
Oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, right in front of me. So yeah, big event count. Sarus are used to be event kings. I don't so much anymore.
Yeah, I think he's still getting a lot of credit for disco megas. But
So how did you get this crew, Auto?
How did I get him?
Do you not remember? Have you forgotten?
No, you're thinking of the wrong one. I think.
Oh, am I? I thought it was this
You're
Saru.
thinking
Yeah,
of
you're thinking-
Serana.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was Kaminar. Oh, never mind.
You're a fake
You
Timelines
forget
Talks fan.
every single time. Every time he thinks he's got him, and every time he's on the wrong crew, and it doesn't go through unless you get the
Sure.
right frickin' variant,
I'm
man.
sure
he
it was
he
Kaminar.
looks so giddy too.
I'm sure it was
great.
Kaminar Saru you retrieved. I'm sure it was. I'm gonna have to look that back.
Wasn't it? Was Serana.
All
Because
right.
at least Saru would have been useful.
Anyway,
Well, I do remember just a little historical reference was that I think Kaminar Saru completed a lot of people's spit and baling wire collection
yeah.
Yes.
back when
It was a
you know,
40, yeah.
that was a very difficult collection to complete. So any purple that helped along with that was a big deal. But
Yeah, because I think it was him and 4-star Yates were the ones that, for a lot of people, just kind of cleared them past it, because there were a lot of bad jury riggers, a lot more than there are now.
yeah,
A lot more bad crew. There's some good jury riggers now. Some.
I'd like to shout out the art. I think it's excellent. I love props in my art. The pose is pretty damn cool. You can just imagine the stargazing. You're set back to Rene Picard at the end of Family, looking up at the sky and wondering what might be. So
I was actually
Could have
thinking he's
done
just gone for
something
too
with-
long a run after eating, and he's now suffering a stitch, and he's like,
I was thinking that he had a kidney stone, but that's just me.
I like Auto's version better. I like
Okay.
Auto's
Yes,
version better.
yes.
It's good art. It's lovely art. It's lovely rock.
No, it is.
That's a quality rock. We like crew with rocks in their art.
This is rock.
I know he's angrily polling.
No,
Hang on.
but no. I mean, we do.
because you fuckers are.
He's hate polling.
Okay.
This
You
is
know,
what
I do
happens when
actually-
we all get back together for the first time in 4 months or something.
My therapist said to just let them talk themselves out and go do a poll or something else. So
Okay.
Poll up in chat. Let me know if you guys are
Okay.
interested in this campaign.
It'll be an interesting one to see because I think this is probably statistically wise, it is the worst campaign apart from Saru. But then you're not buying Saru, so you're getting him anyway.
Pretty rough, yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the best. Usually, each of the ultimate campaigns have had something going for them. Like even the first one with Second Chance Laris, like she was Gauntlet, and then we had I can't remember who we had after that. No, forgot completely.
Elnor.
Relac?
Elnor was probably
Oh, Elnor was
We had
bad, but he
4
was
command
strong.
ups suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Look, it's just the rule. If you have a skill set that is not command dip suck, then you are going to be voyage rank 200 and below. That's the way it is.
Yeah. That's a good
Shuffle
question.
extension.
Why is it 20,000 hair flips to vote? Why is that happening? Can you vote?
No,
one?
you
think
can
it's-
vote.
I
You can
think
vote
it's-
again, so you
yeah.
can stuff the ballot box, but it's gonna cost you.
It is indeed. Okay,
That's the easiest way to make corruption hard, is to make it expensive.
That's how you do it. Capitalism strikes again.
It's not a fine, it's a fee.
It is.
Meanwhile, somewhere off in, like, I don't know, like his shadow base on the moon, Namer has got his server farming hair flips by grabbing like 50 different IPs and ran through just like, yeah.
You laugh, but he is constantly on the channel. I don't know what he's doing. But oh, well, actually, there might be the bot for the Big Book to tell him that we're live. So, go to BigBook.app and see that we're live.
But at the same time, I can make this poll do whatever I want.
That's true. I accidentally set it at 100 hair flips last time we were on at the chill stream, and someone voted like 6 times in the poll. So
Oh, so this is your making the campaign behold 6,500 dill. It's like
that's right.
Really,
Technically, it's free, but it's not free.
You really have to want to do it.
So with all this plethora of and Lower Decks and other animated crew have been getting, they have actually, as of last week or this week, I forget when, expanded the animated collection. It now goes up to 40. So we've got 2 new tiers, 25 and 40. And what's interesting is, like they've traditionally done now, it seems to be moving away from statistic boosts into other things. 2 of which are, well, one of which is a replication increase. Now we now get a total of, if you're VIP 14, 10 replications, and a cron cap increase if you hit the 40 cap, which seems really pointless because if you're hitting 40 animated crew, you don't need that cap. But the replication is possibly the only possible. That's a useful one, yeah. But yeah, this seems to be a bit of a like, oh, come finish the animated collection, but
yeah,
I really
it's window dressing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's expanding it because they know they need to. Well, okay, so the thing about it is, they expanded only this collection, which there are so many other collections that are in need of expansion.
There's like 15 others, yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing this because all eyes are on it because of the Lower Decks Mega, but it's like, it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say an epidemic, but it's like, there's a lot of collections that are lagging way behind now that they could expand. That being said, I mean, if this is what they're going to do to expand the collections, I guess maybe it's
the age of
who
stat
cares?
boosts.
You know what?
I miss my stat boosts.
I haven't seen a Chronoton recharge in about 3 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I literally cannot think of the last time I saw that Emiko that it wasn't in the green. And like I know that like we're speaking from perspective of like kind of whaley like old end game players, but
it's not even
it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as Voyages became a thing, the Cron recap charge went bye-bye for
pretty much
most players.
I do remember a time when it was a relevant farming strat because you had galaxies and you could pre-farm. You knew what materials are going to be there. But I think the big limiter was actually skirmishes. If you're going to do that, you just can't compete in 1/3 of the events moving forward. So it doesn't make sense to.
And it's the best
really
event type because you
cap.
actually get something out of it.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if they had just simply removed the cap entirely with that animated tier collection, and suddenly you were constantly passively recharging chronotons, that'd be worth it.
Yeah.
Dude, I would instant cite every single animated crew ever.
I think I need like about...
Think, WRG! Think!
Well, I mean, because that is what it is. It's the fact that they... And the bridge rewards from, level 10 to whatever it is until McCoy hits, hammers this home again. WRG doesn't know what players actually want.
Yeah.
They put in these, like, pseudo rewards that aren't really worth anything.
Replications!
Yeah.
A
Trainers
super rare
again.
behold!
Yeah. It's like when the best thing that you've got in your rewards are merits and credits, you're not actually rewarding anybody anything. And this just proves that again. It's like, you went a little left of center. You decided to do something different. And it is still, like Cranky says, avatars.
Avatar.
Okay.
The ultimate is terrible.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've seen a lot of people on the event leaderboards sporting those avatars. So
yeah, because they don't want to just flush them down the toilet. It's like, well, I spent for this ultimate reward campaign. I might as well fly the flag for 3 weeks or something. But yeah, it's just
To jump backwards, for podcast listeners, are you guys buying this campaign? 74% of our whale audience say yes, both tracks. 21% say not at all. 5% are buying just J.G. Palmer.
Oh,
They're
they're
the
Ida's
best.
new best friends.
They
He
absolutely
will need
are.
your
Yeah.
names and addresses, and you will be getting stuff for Christmas.
Speak up, I'll buy you something on the web store. I won't buy you stuff on the web store. Also updated is the...
You'll buy them a single black coffee. That's what you'll buy them.
Buy them the
I would.
$500 dilithium pack.
If I could, I would. Musician collection has been... I mean, this has been rumoured for years. The art asset dropped in game, like... God knows how long ago, over a year ago, and we were like, when's the musician collection coming along with
Longer than
hologram as well. But musician has finally dropped after so long and has a 60 tier. It's quite a tough collection. I think you pretty much need every
80.
single crew. Yeah,
80,
it's 80,
yeah, I
is
was
it?
going to say.
You need all of them, yeah.
It's as hard as Physician, right? Or a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Including Gray Ensign Kim, who some of you have immortalized 80 times for the free dilithium. Mobile Doctor, who you may have thrown away to fuse for cheesecake, and now you know you can't retrieve them. Commander Uhura who might be one of the worst purples of all time, so there's a lot of interesting crew out there.
Interesting.
Oh,
I mean,
and, you know,
that 4-star Uhura, they give her away every fucking week, so, you know.
That's true.
they said I was crazy getting first to max on Adam, and who's laughing now?
It's still me. It's still me, Blake. I'm sorry.
Musician collection's fun,
Love
though,
you,
and
buddy,
it's
but no.
it's stats some of the way. I think it's stats all the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's nice that they've expanded
And
that.
Goes a little way towards correcting the inequities in stat boosts.
Yes.
Still more work to be done there, but
We
it's a
demand
start.
equality. My med is as good as your.
I remember
command.
when the Prodigy collection dropped, and everyone was like, "Does this mean that like stat boosts are going to stop? What does this mean? What
Well,
does this
I'm
mean?
still
They
convinced.
stopped. It stops at 40."
Well,
And then
hold on.
next collection.
So that one
like,
stopped at, 20? And then they didn't put stat boosts in. The Gauntlet exclusive one is a gold site. I can't imagine they go back to stat boosts after that. That would be weird. And then I think there was a third thing that was like, okay, this is, once is a coincidence, 3 times is a trend. So
And also musician collection. I mean, they must have had this. If they've planned the art, they must have had the stats planned for a while. So maybe these are like legacy stats, and then they really released it knowing, right, we've got the 80 crew in. Maybe this still will be the trend moving forward for the next collection, whatever that might be. So it's kind
Or
of sad.
maybe they just
yeah,
kind of they pick their spots.
Yeah.
So maybe they just don't go run away with stat boosts quite so much. Although, I mean, what's the harm? It's like what is the harm of people starting to get 14-hour voyages or whatever?
Well, then we're already halfway there.
Yeah.
What about if the next collection they release?
you know what?
increases ship
I think I
battle?
know.
Sorry, go on.
I think I know what the harm is of everyone getting 14-hour voyages. Then they start having more people run into the stuck voyage bug, and then they actually have to fix it. So, you know.
all right, pull up in chat. I want to hear from you guys because this is, at least among our group, we're always chasing the stat boosts for collections. So what do you personally want in collection rewards? Do you want those stat boosts? Do you want stuff that makes collections more optional so you can kind of feel free to chase who you want and you don't have to worry about whales taking over? Or if you want something else, let us know in chat.
I think the consumable things, like if you say want consumables, and it has to be something worthwhile. Like the top end of the animated one, you get like a green, or is it a purple, like shuttle boost pack, which is really not worth it. Like,
By the way, I'm going to screenshot this poll and send it, tag WG Ben after this. So, so blow your 20,000 hair flips if you really want to stack this one.
yeah, vanity stuff is cool. Anything that lasts longer than the time you open it, which is why we like stats. But like vanity stuff, like avatars, like I cited up Age of Sail for the hat avatar. I did that like willingly. Yeah. So like that's cool. I can't blame people for wanting to do things. Crew. I mean, you forgot crew. So like because you can't get crew out of the pet collection, you get data and spot.
That's what the other option is for.
Sorry.
Idle.
Okay.
All my bases are covered.
We haven't got a collection that gives you schematics yet, have we?
No.
The Bride of Chaotica collection
No,
gave
that's
you
an avatar.
Proton skin. No,
Oh,
there were
it does. You're
Captain
right. Sorry,
Protons.
yes.
There was a threshold that gave you a schematic. I would like one that was structured around maybe ship boss battle, some kind of pick whatever goddamn trait you want. Maybe like famous tactician. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Like make it a really big meaty one. That's like 200 crew have tactician.
And put a new
and
ship
then you
in
just
there. That would be quite cool.
put a new ship in there, and then that way people won't laugh at you when you ask 1.25 million honor in order to finish it. Just a
That
thought.
final one you needed the Bortas to make it level 11.
See, that's what they do.
Let's go to
No,
11.
they'll expand the Klingon collection again, and then put enough Bortas schems to unlock the first level, just to
piss
really
people
put
off,
the needle on all the early adopters, both of them.
Oh, I'm picturing the anger, and it gives me fuel.
There are people out there that have never broken the no Tuesday pack rule. They're like, I'm never going to pull a 6-pack, and then they went and fully fused the Bortas. I can just You're still paying for early adoption, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll stay exclusive, but you never know.
Guess what? They refuse to commit to anything being exclusive in this game, and you know what? That's their right. But man, it can really bite them in the ass.
Speaking of exclusive crew that you can only get once a year. Ooh.
I just thought about what ship I really, really want in the game. I want the NX-01 refit.
Oh, yes.
I really want
that. That
that.
would be really cool. And it's canon.
That'd be great.
You can do it. Right.
It's canon, yeah.
It is canon. It's canon now. Okay, let's move on to the mega reward, which will be when I scroll through to her. There it is. Insubordinate Mariner, the second Mariner we'll be talking about in tonight's adventure. Dip Command Eng. Voyage rank 49, fairly respectable. No real collections other than animated. You'll be getting 4 out of 5 stars of her. What do we think, gentlemen, of this freebie Mariner? 4 stars freebie Mariner.
Mariner only sees the rules as suggestions, most of which she doesn't follow.
So this is actually the other
all of these flavor texts have been great for the lower decks.
This is like the other cell in the Batleth Mariner, isn't it? This is literally before she picks up the Batleth and slices. Like it's weird
literally
that they've
about
picked
5 seconds before that.
Yeah, it's weird that they picked 2 cards from the same
weird.
scene.
Yeah, I was trying to think, have they done another pair? Because there must be other crews that have multiple variants from the same episode or like show, and then even then, I don't think they're spaced quite so close together. I'm trying to think of another example. And it's kind of coming up blank.
I demand honor.
Thank you, Cranky.
Well, we are edging closer to the discussion the Big hinted at, where how generic is too generic with these variants. So,
you know what I will say. So far, most of the art on the lower decks crew has been good. It's been pretty good to great. I think we had a long discussion about why I thought the Batleth Mariner art actually really, really worked, even though some people were a little bit divided on it because of the way it conveyed the animation. Considering this is literally 5 seconds before that art, this is kind of boring.
It is a bit, isn't it? It's just a very sort of, because she doesn't look drunk like she does in the episode. Like in the episode, she's rolling out.
Well, it's like you could. Well, she also isn't because I'm pretty sure she's sloshing the bottle around really hard, and there's whiskey coming out of it onto the floor or something like that. That would have been a nice little touch.
I feel seen.
You could. You could have gone for a more exaggerated, because you get away. That's the thing, you can get away with the way more exaggerated proportions and faces and expressions on an animated crew. But we expect it.
Barney Gumble her up a little bit, just
yeah.
Have her cocked off 30 degrees and just
Yeah,
there's probably
that would help a lot.
Yeah,
differentiate her.
Well, because she doesn't look drunk, and I think that was a necessary component of capturing this specific moment, and that's what we really want out of art in this game is capturing the moment that it's supposed to represent. And this didn't really do that.
Yeah, and it's also kind of odd that you would choose to do this with Mariner, who, especially in lower decks, everyone gets a billion variants. We've talked about the thing in Picard and Discovery, how with the expanded budgets you can put them in as many costumes as you want. It means that you get a billion variants. That's even way more so with animation, because you literally don't have to pay for costume changes at all.
When they said
what was stopping this from being Exercise Mariner with the little Starfleet standard issue, little wristbands and the headbands and stuff like that?
I can't wait for Dan Bojitsu crew,
why did it have to be this one? Oh yeah,
but I mean,
great.
I thought when they said
what was stopping?
Mariner,
why did?
I thought it was going to be give me the sarcastic Vulcan salute Mariner. I thought that was going to be her when they said insubordinate. I thought that would have been a cool variant, but it was a bit I have this whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You also could have just given us Lieutenant Junior Grade Mariner, which is in the Operations Gold.
Yeah,
That would have
that's
been
a
a
cool
more. That's got one of my. That's given birth to one of my favorite gifts, which is just her going face first onto the bed and then rolling off when she gets pulled over the income. Which I laugh every time I think about it. But yeah, it's just a little bit generic, which is not what I kind of expect from Lower Decks crew. But I think Otto, you wanted to have a talk about this, right?
For Puffcast listeners, what do you want in collection rewards? 61% say stat boost, 22% say other. I think a lot of them wanted exclusive crew. 13% say vanity stuff. They don't want whales to have the advantage. And 4% want consumables like gold sites, packs, etc. I'm having, unfortunately, the same thought that I did when they added Lara to the game, where it kind of looks like a Hanna-Barbera sticker collection. And I love Lower Decks, and I want Lower Decks crew in the game. And I'm not like boycotting them or anything, but just the arts. I mean, it is the art style, but it just seems flat and it doesn't pop when you have stuff like Mycelial Colburn, Red Angel on the screen, and then you go to someone like Lieutenant Shaxs, who's a fun card and everything, but it just the art styles are maybe too far apart for me personally.
Yeah, I can see that.
Some of them, yes and no.
There is a definite stylistic difference, yeah.
I think there are different artists on some of these. When we look at in a minute, when we look at the different 2-star crew, you'll see a different artistic difference between them alone. So I think there is definitely two different people. What about usability, guys? She's been in the top 50. Bit of a dull skill set, but does she have the traits to back it up?
Well, I mean, it's
She's a nice kicker.
It's a dull skill set, but it's also a pretty barren skill set as far as quality cards that cover these bases. Because, I mean, talking about the specific skill order, she's a direct upgrade over EDF Adira and certainly Jaglem Shrek or Krenim Paris or any of the lower echelons of crew. So I think she's going to get a fair amount of usability.
Get out of my skill set!
Wow. Second show, we've got a second Shrek reference. Fuck me.
Yeah. So, I mean, the usability will be there, but I think the longevity probably won't be because she's debuting in that not quite so butter zone where most new releases are probably going to trump her just in terms of pure rank.
Pull up in chat. I'm afraid Big Shrek thing kind of threw off my brain. It's supposed to read, "Are you happy with the Lower Decks art style?" Not, "Are you have with the Lower Decks art style?" So, if you like it, let us know.
Yeah. There is sort of a different spectrum of Mega Crew, right? On your far end, you've got your pretty much your garbage out of the gate, like Suspiria. And then, to a degree, some people like Kortar as well. Takuma, not quite, because he at least had the instant damage. Then you kind of get into more of this is a daily use crew. Sort of where someone like Cornwell is now, Mariner is. And then you get into your real, your crew that debuted 4 years ago and are still good. Your Surax. Barry Waddle is not quite that old, but he's going to be good for years to come. And on the spectrum, she's definitely closer to that middle spot. I feel like it's fine because you are giving it out 4 out of 5 for free. It's not the kind of card that I would chase in the pack or even really gun for an event unless I really like. Yeah, maybe in recaps I'm like, this is fine. So I feel like it's an appropriate power level for Mega, but it doesn't really get me excited. And it's just a case of she's pretty good. She's fine. It's just the fact in combination with her being a slightly generic variant of a character who has a billion variants that you could be pulling from, it's just a bit of an odd choice.
Isla, are you about to neuralize us and just have us all your own opinion on what this card is? Yeah.
No, I had the change glasses request, so I honour the change glasses request. Okay. Right. So here we are.
But yeah,
I remember
but
around the time that what's her name? Minuet came out as the Mega Crew. The forums were alight with very serious, in-depth discussions about what were Disruptor Beam's plans for Mega Crew. What niche, what role are they supposed to fill? Are they meant to help newer players catch up, low-spending players catch up? Are they meant to be good but not too good so that the whales still have their advantage, this and that? And those conversations have kind of died down because they've given us pretty much everything on the spectrum. They haven't given us total turds yet, or well, not too many. But no, I mean like turds on release. Like they've all been, pretty usable. Some of them
Someone
haven't
like,
aged.
say, J.G. Palmer.
Yeah, some of them haven't aged well, but that's like a different discussion. So we haven't had that discussion in a long time, and maybe it's kind of moot. But yeah, like you guys say, when we get these kind of middle of the road, they're just there. That doesn't really get me excited for a mega, despite what they may be statted for.
Well, I mean, and that's another long-running discussion: is that can you get excited for a mega when there's a mega every other month?
If everything's mega, nothing.
Yeah.
I was actually a little bit more excited for that Strangely Worlds mini arc. I can't quite place why. Maybe it was because it was Strangely Worlds, but it was also because it was something a bit different. It was only a 2-week thing. There wasn't a massive bonus pool. You still had to kind of work for it, but it was nice to have a bit of interconnected story and a theme to it. I feel like they do need to start varying it up a little bit. Maybe do like a 3-week thing where I still think that they should go for a structure where you get to pick what side of the.
Sorry, that was for sure.
Back to the regulars.
Yeah, I still think they should go for a mega where you get to pick different sides of a conflict, and then that determines what crew you get. Now, I understand, obviously, that means they'd have to create more crew, but on the other hand, like, they're already having to create extra crew than they had last year because, they have the Ultra Premium crew, whatever. So just throw another one on the pile. You only have to create one extra crew, and yes, I know the content trend. Just, I'm sure you've got art for some generic variant that you haven't used for Picard because God knows you have a billion of them. Just throw that in opposite the actual card you want to run, give it some stats, and then give me a choice. And then suddenly I'm excited again because I have something. Not only is it something different to what has come before, but I have something different to what everyone else has got, or depending on what your choices are, and then make it a legitimate toss-up. Make them mirror images of each other. Hell, why don't you just make it so that if you can get lucky in the recaps, you can fuse them together for an ultra secret special crew that you don't talk about. Like, there are lots of little things you could do to really spicing up this otherwise completely regular. Every 2 months you get a mega. Sometimes it might be good, sometimes it might be bad, and that's the kind of way it goes.
A couple thoughts on that, because we're not going to give him the chance to. All right. Yeah, they are creating so many more Uber campaign fleet boss battles, which presumably 6-ish months, 4-ish months, they're going to rotate these. So that's, every other month kind of a new crew. They're throwing in a bunch of cadets now and events. So not only do you have to stat these, you need iconography for all the stuff. You need to do the writing for like the flavor text. You have to test the stuff. They have to get approval for a lot of these, so it's like they're creating a ton of work for themselves here, and that's sort of their choice. No one was really clamoring to my ears, hey, we need more and more crew on a regular weekly, monthly basis. So they've kind of ramped it up, and if they can keep it up, good for them, because maybe you get to that specific crew variant you want sooner than later. But it is a lot of work for them. And I've also been, when we talked a few weeks ago about the Captain's Bridge, how cool would it be if it split? If you, even just a 2-way split, and you could choose your rewards. Do you want Scotty or you want a site? So anything that gives players more agency over the game, their decisions, I'm all for.
And those could be a super memorable mega.
Idle's like the kid in the back seat kicking the back of your chair as you're driving the bus. So
I could just about see through it.
See the host really without fear.
That was really irritating my eyes. So I've only got 3 pairs of glasses, so this will get really limited.
Oh, was it? I'm so sorry.
It was irritating all of our eyes.
That's what I'm here for. Speaking of irritating annoyances, let's talk about the event reward a few weeks back. Corrupted Badgie, set command med, void rank at the time 8, communicator, animated. So definitely a fan favorite card, this one, and they made him powerful, but set command only with the med as a kind of little kicker at the end to differentiate him.
Corrupted by his creator's abuse, Badgie seeks revenge on Rutherford and those he cares about.
So how much use are you going to get out of him just with a med tertiary? He's voyage number 8, but he's still set command with that first 2.
It actually helps a lot because the number of antimatter seats for med is a very tiny pool. It's only like 6, I think. So you can seed them in med and get a much higher chance of hitting that antimatter seat. So it does help a lot.
Yeah, like for context, this is a similar sort of contribution as Kalhaya Worf or Kalhaya Bashir, who have been like long really useful on my voyages, precisely because they can fit in multiple different seats and they give you a little bit of propping up in med where you need it. I don't know where they got med from, unless they count his ability to rip the necks of Bajoran like market goers as med, I guess.
I have detailed files on human anatomy.
My oath of degeneracy is on record. Okay, we have a redeem a question in chat, which we are honor bound to answer, unfortunately. Genos asks, what is the official term for a group of Timelines Talks hosts? Is it a professionalism of hosts, or is it something else? A degeneracy of hosts.
Degeneracy. I like a no, but it has to be said professionalism like that, with air quotes and everything. You can't say it any other way.
A timeline of hosts works as well.
A timeline of hosts. That's good. That's classy.
You could have. You were so nice. You could have been so much meaner to us there. So.
Hang on. What is this Google term for? Hang on. What is a group of hosts called?
A Wiggles of hosts today.
No, don't do this.
A Teletubbies of hosts.
I'm just getting ghosts. What is a group of ghosts called? A group of ghosts.
I think Badgie might be the pick of the mega.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Badgie
Stars is trying so hard, and we're just being complete asses.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm getting through it.
I don't even think it's much of a question that Badgie is the best of this mega. I mean, is there anything we haven't seen yet? Is Shaxs the last one?
I mean, Shaxs Gauntlet is going to be pretty fun.
Yes.
So it depends.
Yeah, but it's another command dip sec. It's like when they do deign to do a gauntlet card that's available in just events or something like that, it more often than not has tended to be a command dip sec. Even though it's nice, it's going to be competing for a lot of the same spaces, Laura or Prophet Kira or cards like that.
They have occasionally thrown in a bone like EV Supercard or Union Q was another one who I really quite like using. Yeah. He's been quite useful at times. But again, it is the exception rather than the rule. I love this Badgie. Like, everything about him is great. Like, what I was talking about with Mariner, where I'm like, I didn't even realize this was the exact same scene as Battleth. I was like, when is she holding that? Oh, right, yeah. I know immediately what scene this is from. I can hear the voice line before I scroll down and I look at the arena quote. It's got a bit of that dynamism to it because it's got that shine on his badge, on the Delta design. I love the little booties in the hands. Like, that's just great character design. I think it's hilarious. Like, Badgie was always going to be a win. But I don't know. It's like in combination with a great skill set, good power. He's got a few collections, which isn't something you can usually say about like something with all these other parts. The only thing that's really like holding him back from being like really ultra amazing is if he had Gauntlet. If he had Gauntlet, he'd be really freaking busted. But as it is, he's going to be really useful. And I think tier 2 is about right. I'm shy.
Thank you to our loving chat who would just hurl abuse at all of us, and we just smile and take it. That's what we're here for. We're your whipping boys.
Go for it.
Yeah. Hey chat, can I teach you a lesson?
Hey, come on, Cranky, you're failing.
No, that's what it is. That's what we are. We are. It's a punching bag of hosts.
We did ask
That's
for
what
it.
the name.
Yeah, a badgie of hosts. Yeah.
Nothing lights up the chat like a chance to, we're sitting on the dunk tank, and all I got to do is hit the bullseye, and we're going for a swim.
Wrong.
So this Meg has done an excellent job with the golds because it kind of spans the gamut. You have the 4
What's the gamut? Yeah.
You have the 4/5. You can decide to side or not, but the options there. You have the Great Voyager and Badgie. He's even...
a lesson?
This is what you do.
No,
you just
cannot.
Drink.
Next question.
You walk off screen, you come back, and you just play sound clips.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
No, that was Cranky.
Oh, no, it was me first. Cranky we did it at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, is that why it sounded distorted to shit? All right.
I tell you what, Stars, we're making our own show with blackjack and hookers. We're going to
Damn
talk
right.
about the pure cards, and that's it.
We'll play Diplomat. It'll be great. That's hilarious.
So yeah.
So you got the Raw Power Voyager, who actually has like, the ship ability of like instant damage, which is great. You got Shaxs, who's a Gauntleteer. That's a great addition. All in a Wishkin is your mandated. This is boring. And what's the fourth one? Tendy and Dog, who have excellent skill power.
So I don't want to. Ransom was the fourth.
Oh God, I forgot. I already forgot.
Yeah.
No, guess what? What I said about All in a Wishkin,
Yeah.
it still applies.
Maybe
Hey!
applies even more so. Yeah.
You have to
Yeah,
have
even
that
also.
in a mega. It's not a mega if you don't have a horribly boring statistical card. And he's still kind of fun and the hero trait and everything, but stat wise,
Oh yeah, Neil's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then you get Tendy and Dog, who have the choice skill set but not quite enough power, but they're a fan favorite, so you want them anyway. You kind of hit on every single little thing here. Like it's, I hate it when it's just all power Voyagers, because then you'll feel kind of obligated to grab all of them, and you obviously don't want a load of Drek. But I don't know, they made it so that if you wanted to, pardon me, if you wanted to go for
drinking
one
on the
or
job
two,
again.
hey man, hey.
We're
We're just lucky that Idle hasn't gone for his bathroom break yet. Just doing my best Barney Gumble, don't worry about it. If you wanted to take off like the rest of the Mega and just be like, I'm not feeling it, or if you're somehow lower decks averse enough that you don't want as many crew, but you still want good statistical crew, you can be like, I will hold my nose and take a Shaxs for my gauntlet or something like that.
Take a Shaxs.
So I'm just gonna go rip off a mean Shaxs.
You're doing psychic damage to Big, and I love it.
Yeah, it's like I'm going full Professor X over here. Yeah.
I think overall the Mega is good, but yeah, it just has a few little niggling problems. I'm very interested to see what the next Mega is going to be like, if they go for another completely random thing, or if we're just going to go straight Strange New Worlds.
I think we're due
point,
for their schedule of one cohesive Mega to one. What the fuck is what is the theme?
Yeah.
All right. Mad Libs, but with Mega traits. What have we got?
It's going to be Kazinti.
But we'll feature Loaxana Troy.
It's crew.
Okay.
Crew holding sticks.
Guess what? I've already I've already come up with a plot. Loaxana Troy has fallen madly in love with Chuff Captain.
I'm out.
And
I'm out.
And it's all about arranging their courtship over 4 weeks of exciting. There you go. Perfect. Romantic Mega. There you go.
Talking of
Love up across the stars.
Of pointing sticks. I was very disappointed to learn that when I asked Ben in chat. When he was talking in the Timelines Discord, I said, what guys, do you like collections? What would you like for the next collection? I said, what about that long rumored pointing collection? He went, it's never going to happen, and that just destroyed me for the rest of the day. There has to be a pointing collection. You make so much art.
You feel
Pointing.
You feel gaslit, Idle.
I'll just give
Make
us a
you mad.
collection.
All right, I'll go on record and say that I never have cared about the pointing collection. I know it makes.
But it's a
lot of-
Big, would
meme.
you say,
It's a meme,
Big.
Big.
Yes.
Oh,
Big,
So-
would you say that you never saw the point?
yeah, I would say that. That's exactly what I would say. Yes. And on that note, Tara.
Well, speaking of pointless things to collect, let's
Yes.
move on. Let's move
That
on.
was.
Thank you. I don't often get them, but when I do. Lieutenant Shaxs, set command dip, boo, but he's a bit of a gauntleter, already featuring in several S and A tier gauntlets throughout the big book, is metrics. No real collections apart from animated, but guys, what do we think of Voyage Rank 286?
Lieutenant Shaxs is ready and willing to solve any issue with direct confrontation. Let's consider ourselves lucky that he's on our side.
So I have to say I'm actually more disappointed about his ship ability than I was about Clancy's. Because because
It was
hers was
Clancy's.
the hubris, and we all know it was.
Oh,
it was meant to be. You know what it was meant to be. The sheer fucking hubris, right? How is his not? Don't talk to me. I'm pissed off. How is it not?
Yeah.
How is it? Oh,
And-
we had that exact same conversation half an hour ago.
And you can't you can't fall back on the not putting profanity in the game, because in the intro text for 2 of these events, we've had the word ass in one and we've had the word turd in another.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
you're
like-
right.
You can't have it both ways. Don't say that
can't
you're
wait for
looking out for the kids.
I can't wait for the
And
next
then-
event where Giorgio just calls Mariner a fuck knuckle.
Oh no.
No, it's like, I mean, we don't really care about profanity for obviously, if you've listened to this show for more than 5 minutes. No, we
What the fuck are you
But-
talking about?
yeah. But so it's like don't
Don't
be
limit us.
disingenuous. Yeah, just say the things that the people in the show actually said.
On one
Don't,
side, we won't
like,
get
tiptoe
Prodigy
around
Crew because they don't want to introduce gambling to children. On the other side, they won't let us say fuck. They won't say fucking hubris. So
I mean,
They could just censor it. Sheer,
sheer
star
exclamation marks, hubris.
and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we'd all get it, and they would be,
yeah.
skirting that line. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Exactly.
Then again, this is the same company that literally releases crew that you can't type into the universal chat. Like, for example, you can't say Vindicta in
Yes.
universal chat.
poor Shy.
So-
Then
you know.
what? Duh.
Vin.
Clip it. Clip it.
Vin hot doggy? What? I don't get it. What is this?
Don't worry, Idol. Don't worry. your poor
Siphoning
innocent
petrol from a
mind.
friend's car? No.
Yes, absolutely. No, sucking poison out of someone's wound. Yeah,
Oh, right.
You're being a
Is the
friend.
wound in his
Yeah,
dick?
That's absolutely what it is. I mean, if he's really unfortunate, maybe.
Anyway, Lieutenant Shaxs, is he good at Gauntlet? Is this worth picking up the 1 star?
Can
for
you imagine
Gauntlet?
if we had viewers? Like, what would happen to the show if people watched us?
Wow. Glad we're talking into the void here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has
We're all sleeping.
I've missed you guys.
he has 6 different 45% gauntlets, which doesn't help if it's a blue crew, but he has a 900 max proficiency on one skill, 700 on the other. Throw in 45% crit, you're going to see some screenshots of him doing like 8,000 score in the gauntlet, and you're going to be like, whoa, maybe I should get him. So, like we talked about earlier, the sort of parody of the gold crew here, you only need 1 star for this crew. 2 through 5 are pretty damn awful, actually, because he's bad in every other area. But for 1 star, you could do a lot worse. So if you have some time boost saved up, some requisition shuttles, I say go for it. I mean, I say don't go for it because I want one too, but go for it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Or at least
the,
hope that you get one from the recaps. Hope for that.
Yeah.
the tertiary does kind of let him down, because he'll find himself on the wrong end of 2 for 1s and the 2 for 2s, where that third skill is not going to measure up to some of the other heavy hitters. But I think what anybody wants in Gauntlet is just some variety, some mixing stuff up, something that's a little more fun. And
Is he our first Gauntlet capable lower decks crew? Like of note?
probably
Yeah.
Yeah. So that alone is going to help in terms of
Well,
just getting-
Lara.
Yeah.
It counts.
see what you
Animated.
Yeah.
Maybe not lower decks, but yeah.
So yeah, just throw some stuff in there to break up walls of Kalises and Baylocks and stuff like that. They'll probably beat him more often than he'll beat them, but it would still be more
At least
fun.
you got to pick a different color of failure,
Yeah, different color of failure. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's the real title of this episode: a different color of failure.
Wow.
Yeah, not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, like you say, like it brings up
Apollo, you
Sorry,
just
go.
reminded me. I really want a fusion crew of Rutherford and Tendi where they're making the model of the USS Cerritos.
Oh,
I want
yeah,
the art
that's
to be
cool.
them having to insert the tiny keys for the warp core.
Cairo raises a good point. Do you ever think we will get watching Mugatu or Spread Eagle Boimler from
No,
you?
never,
Yeah.
never,
I don't think
ever.
we're going because those are very explicit.
Look, they won't allow standard penetration on Stad Picard.
Oh, right. I see what you mean by standard. Right.
Penetration.
Voyeur Gumato, yeah. Love it.
Or like the where they're walking through the naked gym and the pilot or whatever it is, and it's like that's it's not gonna happen.
Sorry.
You know,
I'm
I wouldn't
imagining
mind.
myself cutting my vegetables, and my wife going, "What are you doing?" Just some standard penetration.
You mean you don't have that conversation with her? Maybe you should.
Well, you are now, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
You know what I would actually love? If they continued the joke from that episode and we got like a load of animated Mugato, like generic Mugato variants, but they were all spelled wrong. So you got like Gumato and Gumatu.
Yes. Yeah.
And I really want the Steve Irwin parody as well, just because like I want him to be a one-star crew. That'd be hilarious.
Okay, so as we wrap up Shaxs here, the bylines for the show so far has been, how generic is too generic. So, in addition, we got over this mega 4 different green cadet crew: Rutherford, Tendi, Mariner, and Boimler.
Yeah, the main cast.
So they did this, and obviously kind of a lot of the older crew, Janeways and your Rikers, have sort of a generic variant. That made more sense when you had like 70 crew in the game, and the game had just launched, and you kind of want your stock standard. Is it still necessary to do the whole generic bit? They just did it with Strange New Worlds. A lot of them were like, super powerful top base, top voyage crew too, with Spock and Pike and stuff. A, is it necessary? B, would you rather have them do it in the cadet pint-sized version or the big gold version?
I think, like, at a cadet level, at the 2-star, 3-star, that's fine. I think this is kind of the area where, people who just start the game and want these iconic crew and go, I got Picard, I got Kirk, I got Tendi, I got some of my favourite crew already there. As green, standard versions makes a lot of sense. I think at the one, like you're saying, at the gold variant with, say, Enterprise Pike and Lieutenant Commander Spock, they're a bit dull to be exclusive crew. They make sense in a way, but like having the way for people to say, I want Rutherford, I really like Rutherford, like, oh cool, I've got my 2-star variant, awesome. It didn't take me much to play the event. Anyone that can start the game tomorrow can get Ensign Tendi this week, like, no question.
Pull up and chat, let us know as we chat about this.
I mean, my thought of it is that specifically for lower decks, I think it makes a lot of sense because they're supposed to be, the lower deck version, like the less important crew. It's like that's the whole idea of lower decks. Is supposed to be minor characters. You've made them the major characters of this series, but they're supposed to be, in the context of their ship, minor characters. So having the vanilla versions of these characters be, greens and relatively inoffensive, underpowered green cards. Well, except, I think Tendi as a cadet is kind of a monster card. If anybody is still trying to clear nodes and do weekly cadet missions, then she'd be great for that.
Running an ult.
But yeah, I think that for this and only this, I think it makes sense. And to the larger question of, do you want the stock version of your characters to be, the ones you see and use all the time, or just the basic ones? I think I like the idea of the notable moments in a character's life being the big, powerful golds that you see more often, as opposed to the stock ones. So I think that's my personal calculus on how I would like it. So I think this makes sense to me.
Yeah, for me, it kind of... I can feel like a few different ways on it. In this particular instance, I think, it makes a lot of sense to have 2-star variants of them. They all match, and they look great as a bridge crew. Like, that looks like it could be almost a promotional picture for the show, which I think is a nice little tie-in.
Although, I will say, as an aside, if you do look at the difference between Rutherford and Tendi, and we spoke a little bit about this earlier, like, Tendi's got a lot more shading on her, whereas Rutherford's a bit more plain. So I think that's what I'm saying. There's a couple of different artists here doing the same thing. Like, Rutherford looks like he's dropped out the show, whereas Tendi's got a little bit more sort of, airbrush highlights and things like that on her. But sorry, anyway, carry on.
It's okay. When it comes to the Strange New Worlds crew, I feel like you have to split the difference, because on the one hand, yes, they are incredibly boring, like, promotional art versions of these crew. Like, that pose of Ortega's, for example, is literally the same one I saw on the tube are set by all the other ones that they just look. Strange New Worlds pioneering on Paramount Plus. Like literally saw the exact same pose, and it's boring. On the other hand, they need to do promotion for the shows. That's part of their byline. Like it's the symbiotic relationship you have between the licensed product and the licensee. It also gets around, I want Strange New Worlds crew. Well, we can't exactly release the Pike that everyone wants from episode 10 because some people have not seen episode 10 and are not going to be seeing episode 10 for another few months because international distribution is a fucking train wreck, especially for Paramount and CBS. So you need to kind of split the difference. And especially if it's a case of, well, at what point is it like, how spoilery is too spoilery? Because there are certain cards I can think of off the top of my head that I really want from Stranger Worlds of season 1, where it's like that's a bit spoilery for people, considering the fact that I think some places in Europe still don't have access to the streaming service and would have to otherwise watch it illegally, which I can't possibly condone. Certainly didn't do it myself. Whereas there are some you could get away with.
I just realized, what if you build as an item Pike's hair? And at lower rarities, it's like normal hair, but at legendary, like it grows in size as you build the higher rarity of hair.
What if that's season 2? What if that's the season 2 boss battle?
I want part of that build
Pike's
to
beak.
be built to be building like a lemon meringue pie, as just that's part of what goes into the Pike's thing, and then
More meringue.
yes, more meringue. Mile
Okay,
high
let me
meringue
hit
pie.
these. Let me hit these cadets real quick, just statistically, for any new players that might be watching. Boimler is hot garbage. You don't need him at all. Traits are bad. Stats are like that. Anson Tendi,
Appropriate.
pretty interesting. It's a rare skill set especially for lower rarity crew. She's the number 2 Voyager, I think, by raw score. So you may use her much longer than other crew, and she's got a couple good traits there with a few collections. Ensign Mariner, they gave her the pre-nerf human Saru treatment where she's the number 1 Voyager by a percentage. It would be like if a new gold crew came out 500 points better than everyone else. So she is command dip suck, but number 1 Voyager, number 1 base, and she'll do cadet work for you 2, 3, 4 days out of the week. And then Rutherford, he's pretty good too statistically, and he's got the engineered trait is pretty interesting because you don't get a lot of freebies with that collection, so he might tick you over a box there, and he's not command dip suck. So they kind of gave us a gamut of the different skills between the 4 of them too. So if you were just starting this mega, you might be able to run through a whole lot of your cadet missions with just these 4.
Yeah, and I do have to take a Shy's point of the impact on nightmare alts. I do weep for them if they end up getting set back as a result of all this. Hopefully you would be able to event enough to get all
I
4
think
of these.
I think it should be fine. Like getting the 2-star, 2 of the 2 stars is like 0 problems. That's like about 5 minutes work, even for nightmare people. Like even people playing the game, you can get the 2-star an event fairly easily. So leveling them up depending on where you are at in your nightmare role. Like if you're in the blues, go back and do them. It's not a problem. So it's a good thing, especially if you're still on the greens and you get Tendi or Mariner. That's great news. For those that are still playing Nightmare anyway.
Just to wrap it up, I'll agree with you, Big. I think it works, because of the lower deck / cadet theming. And I forget what my B was, but I like it. It's good. Thematically, they just fit together. I didn't like the Pike and Spock because I like the characters. I love the show, but if I'm going to use a number 1 Voyager for the next 4 years, I want it to be something cool, like not just a guy standing there,
You want it to be
like
Vidal.
Survivalist Kirk. How cool is Survivalist Kirk? He's firing a friggin', cannon.
Bamboo cannon.
That's so
cannon,
cool.
yeah.
Like I want to use him every day for 4 years, not just some guy standing there. So
I was going to spoil
Yeah,
an
no, I
episode of
absolutely take your
Strange Worlds,
point.
but I won't, but yeah. Sorry.
Oh, I can think of a variant for literally every single character. Who I'd be like, if they dropped him as a number 1 variant, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
We'll
Yeah,
have
it's
a-
like
we'll-
that's how.
We'll give it another month or 2, and then we'll start dropping Strangely Well spoilers. We'll give people a chance. But yeah, okay. Also, you should be really happy. You should be ecstatic, over the moon, because they've done what you asked.
we already covered this.
The trait audit. We did cover this, didn't
Yeah.
we? Any more details?
No.
Okay.
We We
did
did
that earlier.
post the
I
huge
just remembered that as you
change
said
log. Yeah, it's like 700 changes. So if you do want to look through, I don't think there's much front facing, so there's not a huge relevancy change. I guess it's more for WOG's bookkeeping, but yeah, that is nice.
Well, I think that's the takeaway is they went to the trouble of doing some trait auditing and they still didn't cover most of the traits that have been brought to their attention.
No, they just did hidden traits, I think, was the main
months.
Yeah.
thing.
I would love to see a big collection shakeup if they add a bunch of missing like front facing traits, but this is still, it's nice that they care about this part of the game at least.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on. How do you?
Oh,
guys-
we'll be getting to the Riker Behold wall, but you got to wait till hour 3 for that one.
Oh yeah,
We have
that's
a
it.
gotta
month
wait
of
till-
crew to
Wait,
get through.
we're actually
Gotta wait till
making-
Hoda and Kathy Lee come on before we can really get to that.
You guys haven't been tangenting enough because we're actually making good time. Did you get? I actually didn't get the reference. Forgot.
Yeah, it's the Today
It's
Show.
it's
okay,
an American morning show
Right,
with
right.
2 people you don't want to watch.
Okay. Right. Anyway, let's go on to. Hang on, I got to find my
There's a
button.
couple of pet crew
There is a couple of pet crew. Do you
linked
guys-
together, so let's hit them.
Indeed. Let's go for data. Oh, bugger! My things have gone wrong. Hang on. No.
I bet you get that
There
a
we
lot.
go. Data. Yay. Depends how much I've been drinking. Data and Spot is the exclusive pet collection reward. If you get to, I think it's tier 17 of the collection, which is pretty much every crew with the pet, you can get yourself a Data and Spot. Voyage rank 113. Inside Dip. This is, yeah, he's a caregiver, which makes sense for anyone that owes a pet. You know how much you have to look after the little bastards.
Prisoner.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been good.
Desperate.
Desperate, yeah.
How close are we to the Worf and Data fusion card where Worf is holding Spot and Data's saying, he is a good cat? Tell him he is a good cat.
I will feed
Tell
him.
he is- Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be pretty damn good. Like, release some, generic Worf or whatever and fuse him with a collection crew to get a fusion crew. That would be a change.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Diabolical.
That'd be great.
Well, yeah,
There's
'cause
only
you can
one
on-
copy of Data and Spot. Right? You did a DYC in order to have both.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I
Good.
haven't heard from anyone in an official capacity if they are going to expand this. I know a lot of people obviously have raced to first to max, so they may not do that. They may just add vanity rewards in the future, but it's certainly an interesting.
Yeah, I would say hold off from citing your Data and Spot because this could be a Lucille Davenport moment where they add that final.
Well,
fifth
also because
star.
he sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not good.
Yes, he does.
He's not.
He's not good.
Data
Can I
loves
just
his
say-
cat Spot so much he even wrote an ode to Spot.
Oh man, so
It's a little bit recursive.
I can maybe use the 5 odes to Spot that have been sitting in my inventory since they accidentally gave us 6 in one event 2 years ago. Maybe.
I feel like that's
Yeah, so-
appropriate. I feel like that's like a fistful of Data's gag.
So
Well,
he's
you
not in the collection, which is garbage. Walt Koenig points out.
Yeah.
You release a pet collection, release a pet crew, and then don't put him in the pet collection.
Well, it's the same as Scapegoat. Scapegoat O'Brien is not in the Bada Bing collection.
Yeah, but that's dumb. Just add a tier
Yeah.
with a 10-pack and then make him eligible for it. Like, what's the argument against doing that?
Lucille Davenport
So,
is not
can I just
holodeck
point out-
enthusiast.
His art makes it look like he's saying, like, have you noticed how your boobs have started to fill up? Especially with him grabbing his... Yeah.
Meanwhile, Spot's looking at the camera going, get a load of this guy.
About this firm, this thick?
Oh my god. Oh, what have you done?
I would say we're off the rails, but I don't know if we were ever on the rail. So
No, never.
I'm drinking water, so this is painful for me right now. It was so much more fun when I just shotgunned like 4 beers.
Well, no, okay. So as far as Data himself, it's a pretty middling card. There's nothing that he has that you need to get from him. You've probably got it from other sources. I mean, I would say a lot of players have already completed the Android collection. They don't seem to
Hollow
be in-
Data dropped a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and he is a better card in pretty much every respect than this Data and Spot is, except he's got a cat.
I mean, the comparison is Scapegoat.
He's got a new
O'Brien.
cat.
We were he's got a new cat. We were looking at Scapegoat O'Brien because he was a baller card. He still is a brilliant card. Shoot for the Bada Bing collection if you can, because he's great. So we're kind of thinking that maybe they put crew in collections, that'll be great. But
Well, Lucille Davenport wasn't even great at release.
Yeah, she was serviceable now.
That was
she's
a while
just,
ago though.
They could have just swapped Data and Spot and Puppy Placated Janeway, because they both fill similar roles.
Yeah.
Like, they're in caregiver-esque capacities, but she's a little bit better card statistically. Maybe people would be more incentivized to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, if they had been swapped, I would have felt more compelled to go for.
I mean, it was a Janeway campaign, so they would have had to tweak that a little bit, but still.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I hate this art. Like,
yeah, it's not good.
They took the cat, they took Data, and then they just dragged the icon and put it on top. His feet are floating in front of the cat.
Yeah,
it's really amateur. Yeah.
Well, plus it looks like it doesn't even look like it came from. It looks like it came from the Outrageous Okana, his like stand-up bit, where he's lady. So it doesn't work on any level, and like you say, the perspective is just all off, and it doesn't.
Why is he not holding Spot? He should just literally be holding Spot.
Yeah.
Booker and
It
Grudge,
really should just be him at his desk and that bit where it should just be him saying, "This is up, this is bad, this is down, this is good." Like, because that's what I think of. Or if you want another version of it, why don't you just do Generations Data when he's holding Spot crying?
Yeah.
Those are if you ask me to place where this is from, I'd be like, I don't know, an episode. But I can think of multiple other episodes of really iconic moments where Data is holding Spot. What about the other moment in Generations where he's talking with Geordi about the motion chip, and that'd be cute.
You mean the motion chip Data?
He's still wearing the TNG uniform by that point, I think. So.
Is he?
We had this chat.
He is, yeah. They change.
Well,
I think he changes after he gets the emotion chip.
Okay. I like the detail in the art. He looks good. The cat looks good. But the lazy layering on top where he's floating in front of the cat, stepping on her back paw, his back paw.
Here is layer 1. Here is layer 2. You can see it in the Photoshop. You literally can.
Yeah.
And this is not like a throwaway, cadet or whatever. This is a collection, end of the rainbow type reward.
Yeah.
So just do a little bit better on that.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just thinking about again, why didn't you just put Spot in front of Data? Did we really need to see Spot? Did we really need to see Data's leg?
Hot take. I wonder if Spot was originally in front of Data, and they decided to move. Well, I say it's because it was a boy at one point and then a girl at another point.
It changed sex after it got turned into a lizard. Don't think about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I wonder if that was a decision that was made after the fact.
That would make a little more sense, I guess.
And this isn't a true representation of any cat, because you haven't just got his butthole just staring you in the camera the whole time. This is any cat that just jumps on your lap, just ass in the face. I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. I know what.
If Spot was sitting on its rear with that turkey leg in the air licking itself, that would have been much better.
Now I'm thinking of another crew that I want that would be kind of on that theme. I want Tilly. When Grudge is just clambering all over her back, that'd be a really hilarious variant to get. Yes,
Tilly and Grudge, that'd be a cool one.
That's maybe part of my problem with this. It just doesn't look like a cat that is really doing anything. It just looks like a cat. It's not.
I'm actually curious. Spot is one of the avatars for a certain year of playing the game, right? Is this the exact same art? I'm curious.
I don't think so. I think the cat.
I don't know if I have enough years on the game to say.
Would have to check. Do you know what? I've got the art right in front of me. Let me find it. 1 second. Keep talking.
Chat says no. So
okay.
Yeah, it should have been a more exciting card.
No, because wasn't Spot for the Avatar just a cutout of the one from B4? Didn't they just straight cut that out?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So here's his Spot. I've just brought him on the screen.
Fair enough.
B4. Does B4 come up? Yeah, and there's B4. Yeah, you were exactly right. Yeah, that is B4's cat. That's
Boom.
B4 spot.
Yeah.
Count it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well done. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like data would be owned by this cat. I believe we had an entire trial episode about this.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
The other pet crew we also have.
Now I'm just picturing like Spot on the stand, and they like disconnect his arm from his body. It's like,
Hey.
Cat
Speaking of
Nokia, his springs have been cut.
Speaking of more cohesive pet interactions, Tendy and the dog from probably one of my favourite Lower Decks episodes, purely because that dog was
it's
batshit
so good.
insane. It is so good.
You are a freak, I know. I just didn't want you to worry.
I just love the one with the dog just
Tendy's
cut.
hand-edited, genetically sequenced dog may not be quite like Earth dogs, but she's still a good girl with some freakish powers.
I like that. That's cool.
Love that flavor text. That's
Yeah,
great.
That's really good. I'm glad they're not. They're putting some effort into it. That's good. Although I haven't checked Memory Alpha.
Actually, it was kind of lifted from Memory Alpha, so
Damn it.
they moved a couple words around, but like the freakish power and the certain things are just quotes from there. So,
But yeah, I think one of my favourite moments is
There was
like
an
when
attempt.
It's Tendy, no, not Tendy. It's Mariner and Boimler are just chatting in the lower decks bunks, and then the dog walks through and then just turns into a
It
cube.
turns into the cube.
And rolls away. I freaking love that.
That's the metallic cube. It's gonna go clunk, 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 clunk.
there's another variant.
Well, yeah, I was actually going to say, we're talking about boring art. This is kind of boring art, but I kind of get why, because it would be, I don't know, do you feel like it would be inappropriate to have the version of the dog where, like, the head snaps back and it just has
and the
bats
are
coming out?
Yeah. No, that'd be perfect.
It's like, do you feel like that would be inappropriate for a game of this
Bat
sort of
dog.
thing, or do you think, because I feel like that's more, yeah, bat dog.
Well, plus, I mean, that is kind of spoilery. Because you don't really want to give away the true nature of the dog exactly.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah, you're
People
not
that would
wrong.
go for this card know what the dog is. Like,
Yeah, true.
Do they?
Tendy and a
Maybe
dog.
There's
I
is
don't-
kind
people
of-
that like dogs.
like I don't even remember most of that episode. So if I just saw that, I'd be like, "Oh, there's
That's
a
the,
dog," you know? Or if that was a more
That's
casual.
the one
play.
where Boimler goes on the ship full of rejected. Excuse me, voice cracking up.
Yeah, back to the farm, yes.
Back to the farm, yeah, where they get all the sort of like it's got the threshold lizard in it, and they all go back and they're like they try and stage a mutiny, and it actually works out. Oh no, they're going to the farm all along, and it's a great place. It's like Riser.
So Cairo brings up a good point. Compare this to Data and Spot. These two are making eye contact at each other. She's petting the dog
Yeah.
on the head.
Yeah.
It looks like it was drawn together, which I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a much more naturalistic fit. So I do like, and it's just a better card overall. Like honestly, like I think
Revenge.
better skill set
Yeah.
and just more personality to it. And I like some oddball traits, like geneticist and shapeshifter are not common ones.
And
like,
Orion.
that's-
Yeah.
yeah, we've actually gotten quite a few Orions thanks to Tendy and some of the Discovery crew. So like I'm kind of glad that's getting filled out.
This is a crew you want for fleet boss battles for those nodes. This is for that geneticist
That's true.
Orion that might turn up.
I want to get cute. Like this is the kind of
Yeah.
crew that, like, I know that statistically the power is not there. She's behind Carlos Data, who's the exact same skill order, I believe. And I don't think her rank projections are great. But if you finish her off quickly, like either from recaps or citing her, you're going to get a good use of it. And it's just a fun card to use on voyages. Like you say, it is kind of boring to just have to use Enterprise Pike or Lieutenant Commander Spot because they are a little bit less, lifeless. Whereas, like, I like to imagine that Tendy and the dog are having fun playing Carter Scott on my voyages. It's just more fun.
Yeah, it's
Full
like would
fucker
you
everyone
would you,
involved.
would you rather use Tendy and the dog, or would you rather use Loken? Exactly.
Yeah. Fucking forgot about Loken. I always forget he exists.
I will give them credit for a kind of cute little link. Her ship quote is, "Who has malleable protein bonds? You do." And then they give her shield. Then they give her shield regeneration. So
Yeah,
That's
kinda
cute. I like that.
yeah. That's the one
You
thing
can.
with-
I
yeah.
feel like. I feel like you can really tell when someone who's making a card has probably been watching the episode while they've been making it. And then I'm not saying that some of them don't watch the episode, so I'm not going
I
to start
am.
throwing that around. Oh, well, you
I will.
can say what you like. I imagine maybe there are some people who haven't, because for some people at some point it is just a job. But a lot of the Lower Decks crew feel like they've been made by people who have literally been watching the episodes on loop while they've been working on it on The Office. And that it comes through, especially in stuff like the flavor text and thematic theming and making them just fun in general. Like there's a little bit more effort, I feel.
Well, I think also just they looked at the Lower Decks crew as an opportunity to have fun. Like just the
not in my game, damn it.
Yeah. Well, and it should be. It's like for it to be authentic to the show, it should be fun. They should be comedic. And they're following through on that better than I was expecting they would. So, credit.
And Cranky is correct. One of the only cards where the avatar headshot is different to the full body shot because they have to include the dog. Because otherwise, why would I want the dog? I want to be able to show off that I have dog.
Yeah, there's not many.
He said one of the only.
Yeah, I was going to say,
There's a
because
few.
the agents and the Shroomies as well, I think, are there as well.
It was like Koloth and Korax. Did they have to mush that together?
Well, Shan did say maybe last year that they do make all of these manually, the headshot thing. So, because there was a period there around the time of the malaria art where all the headshots were like super enlarged and taking up the whole space, and so now we're back to seeing a little bit like maybe the shoulder or whatever else, and so
man,
they now know.
Do you remember the malaria art? That was a bad time.
That was a bad time.
That was great for content for the show, though. It was so easy.
So that they've worked out how to crop in Photoshop. That's good. Well done.
Yeah, haven't you seen Data and Spock? Bloop.
Well, okay. They've not learned layering yet. Cropping, then layering. Anyway. Right. So, speaking of dogs, we have a bit of a dog of a deal. A dog of a deal. There we go. That's the term.
I put that on a silver platter for you, and you still bungled it.
That's because I was trying to do things and think this is why you should do the segues. I should just press the buttons. Maybe we'll get there when we do other things. Riker mixed behold. We are always skeptical of mixed. Are you taking photos of us?
I'm gonna do one.
You're gonna do one? Oh shit! Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Wow! You've actually got some options there.
Oh shit! Well, I wouldn't. It's got to be Zeng.
I was hoping it was going to be awful so we could shit on WRG. What is that?
So show that again. What was it?
A flash of warning, not representative of real Behold.
Absolutely not.
First Officer Riker, Zeng He Riker, and then
it's got to be Zeng He. You've got your value out of Top Hat Riker, haven't you? So.
He looks so cool. He looks so fancy. I love the art.
He's got the star. He's got his first one. So he just need. I think Zeng.
Yeah, but. Wouldn't he look better with two?
Don't take First Officer.
Oh, no, never. Yeah. Well, he's from Nemesis. It's
this is going to be some YouTube exclusive content for our subs. I'll let you know who I picked after the show.
Okay. But at any rate, so look at this art below. They've made a Polestar art just for Riker's beard, and I really want that.
Hilarious.
I want a Riker Polestar, just so I can pull Rikers. It's the only way you guarantee chance of Zeng He, like Zeng He Riker.
You could do a beard Polestar, like why not?
Yeah, do crazy shit like that. That'd be great. But then if it's linked to trades, then
which is the episode where they're talking about Geordie's beard, and Crusher's like, "I don't trust a man with a beard" or something like that, while sitting at a poker table with three men with a beard. When can we get bearded Geordie? I'd like that.
We need bearded Data too. Fine, full, dignified beard.
And then sarcastically laughing Troy as well behind him.
We could get like non-canon bearded Bev Crusher or something. Yeah, that would be great.
But
Timeline's
original.
Dick jokes. Hey, they're great. Bearded woman. Oh, you went too far on that one.
I just don't think I've been okay if that's what you're into, my guy.
There's a couple of bearded Picards. Oh, I suppose there's All Good Things Picard, isn't there? Where's another one?
Mirror as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Old Man Winter.
Hold on. Yeah. Do we allow goatees, or does it have to be a fine, full, dignified beard?
Know.
Come on, goatee counts.
What about mustache and soul patch?
Soul patch makes it, yeah.
Mustache, no, but with the soul patch.
Yeah.
Well, then all the Musketeer crew are in.
Yeah.
Ooh, Musketeer.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's true.
How
many good Rikers are there? How many good Rikers are there?
There are not many.
Not enough.
It's like 3.
Also
Look,
got
well,
most
okay.
of them in that one behold.
I think I got all of them.
Well, no. Well, okay. I will say, are there any?
Yeah.
So Zheng He is probably the best statistically. Little
That's
John
true.
Riker, people have been using him in fleet boss battles.
Yeah.
And Riker
But-
Q at the purple level has a great base still.
But post Enterprise Pike, post all of these big
no,
Voyagers, it's like, are you using Zheng He Riker for anything now?
I am for the Maverick
Pilot
seat.
node.
Yeah,
Yeah, Pilot and Maverick is what you're using for him.
Yeah, he
That's
scores
it.
well on that. That's where I'm using
So-
him mostly.
Add him to the list of crew that need a glow up.
Well, yeah, he at least has a variant with Engine, at least one variant with Psi and one with Med. If you guys had to guys had to pick a Riker that you would like to see appear in the game and be a little bit more interesting and maybe even a statistical upgrade on one of yours, who would you pick? My personal one would probably be Picard Day Riker. I think that'd be a really cool variant. He would probably be Command Dipsec, but like, I don't know, you could get a little bit of flavor going.
Yeah, I'd love that card. That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun. I don't know why you guys are wearing that.
Can I get
Make him Voyage
Timelines
rank
originals?
300. Yeah, that'd be...
Yeah. Can I get
Come on, they wouldn't do that. That's a fan favorite scene, man.
Can I
Yeah.
get Timelines originals? Betazoid Wedding Riker that was never shown, but we all wanted to see.
That is not happening.
They could definitely do a sight gag, a la Naked Phlox. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Or which Captain Riker? Captain Riker either from Best of Both Worlds or from the End of
Well,
Nemesis.
we don't have Groom Riker, like dress uniform.
Yeah, that's true.
in the
We don't
movie,
actually. That's
so-
true. Yeah.
Well, you could get USS Titan. You could get Titan Riker from Lower Decks.
Yeah.
I like
We can also get
Volcano's
Babyface Riker.
Holodeck
Oh, yeah.
3 Riker after he comes out of Famke's room. Bridge, if you need me, I'll be in Holodeck 3. And he wipes his goatee because he's drooling all over himself.
You know what? I just thought
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
what it was.
In
He
the
was- yeah,
the
he was
first,
droll.
yeah, it was droll, surely. At the
Thirsty
beginning of
Riker.
beginning of DS9, where Picard comes into O'Brien's transport room, he's like, "This is your favorite transport room, right? Number 3." And I'm thinking, it's like, "This is your favorite holodeck, isn't it, Riker?" Number 3. It's like, that's got a very different connotation when it's Riker.
No, that's got police tape over it most of the time. It's like, do not enter.
Black light's not allowed in this area.
Look like a
So
Jackson
it's-
Pollock painting.
It's not it's not the Riker we know, but removing the Maquis Riker where he removes
Oh,
the
Tom
sideburns.
Riker.
Yeah,
Thomas
Yeah.
Riker.
I was thinking of that one too.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Okay,
And
Well,
'cause at least
Bottom
that
Riker
one
is
you
very
could-
good.
And you could probably justify some more esoteric skills for that Riker too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most
Yeah,
that's
he'd
the
be
thing. It's
reasonable.
like for most of the show, Riker is mostly just a command guy, and
Yeah.
they tend to make those very boringly skilled.
Metamuciled Riker. Data, something's got me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah,
no,
or
you
like
can't, don't even try Riker.
Oh.
Yeah, when do we get Future Imperfect Riker? That'd be great. They give him like Command Psi or whatever. Why the fuck not?
I would like
Give it
frame
to
of
other people
mind.
for
I would
way
like
less.
frame of mind Riker or Mad Riker.
There you
if they
go.
wanna call it. That's a good one.
There's
That's
like
an easy one.
there's like a med psi dip
Yeah.
or something.
Oh yeah, that's a good chance.
Yeah.
Or
And the
second.
art has to be him shattering. I care how you achieve
No.
it. You just
That's
have to
what
do
we
it.
need.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be so
Oh, I just had a nerdgasm. That would be so good.
Or we
Like,
could
I
go
don't
the
care
complete,
if it ruins all the bridge crew, it just has to be him shattering. Can't
or
be
we
anything
could go
else.
the complete other way and have Shades of Grey Riker with him in the head thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and having his weird orgasms, yeah.
Make him like a one skiller gray or something because he's so.
Shades of Grey. I like it. Yeah. That's good.
Oh yes, Insurrection Riker with the joystick. Yes,
Yeah,
we need.
absolutely.
We
No,
gotta
no,
have
no, it's
that.
not a joystick, it's a manual steering column. No?
It's a column, all right.
It's a column, man. Hey,
We better
ladies,
get-
you want to see the size of my column?
We better get Ensign Param with
Yeah.
that, and like an Omega or something.
We better.
So anyway, this whole pack is so bad we're not talking about it. So
It's awful.
I mean,
Man.
it's
Yeah.
fun. Who doesn't love Riker?
it's true, but
It's
WRG?
It is terrible value. Yes, don't
yeah,
pull
it's-
it. Don't ever.
It's priced. It's priced like a birthday behold, except it's got 700 crew in it.
They do that to Riker a lot. Do you remember when they did the Chef Riker? He was in a crew with like 14 different in a pack, right? For the holodeck enthusiasts. That was really annoying as well. They do this all the time.
Yeah. At least there's nothing new in this pack. There's nothing like, here's a crew you can only get in this pack until the portal update. It's just old Rikers. So like
they did that with Chef Riker though, because it was a holodeck enthusiast. It was 13 crew in there, and he was a new gold, like one of 6 golds. So it was like a less than 1% chance to pull, and it was really bad.
Cairo asked,
does WRG like Riker or Chakotay more? That's a question, isn't it? There are like probably 3 times as many Rikers.
5 times as many Rikers.
Yeah.
Golds,
actually,
anyways.
Yeah.
Well, for event choices, they have liked Riker more pretty consistently.
Yeah.
When do we get
But you can't blame them for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holographic Doll says at least Riker has non-CDS options, unlike, say, Uhura. That is an interesting...
I'm doing that. I'm doing that yes GIF with the girl that you always used to
Oh,
call.
yeah.
The points deducted for calling it a GIF. Okay, let's move on. You're a GIF. Your face is a GIF.
Your mom's a GIF.
Let's move on and go for
Giorgio's actions during the operation on Kronos earn her an invitation into Section 31 while she's laying low in an Orion cabaret.
So speaking of Tuesday crew you can't get anymore, here's last week's or the week before's Giorgio. I love Giorgio, I really do, but this is a bit of a disservice to Giorgio's command sec dip, which is fine if you don't have every other one. But she has quite a few interesting traits I've not seen for a while. Well, royalty and bartender specifically, which is cool. I like that as a niche. She has some good ship options as well, which I need to work out how to put them on here, because we're going to have to start talking about ship battle options. God forbid. We haven't had to talk about it in the 2 years we've been doing this, and now we do. God damn it.
Who's going to bring it up?
Go on.
This is not Cabaret Giorgio.
No,
it's
not, is it? This isn't the one from season... This is not from season 3, is it? That's the one I think of Cabaret Giorgio.
This is from season 1.
This is the season 1 end of... on the...
Where she's having the threesome with the Orions, yes.
Yeah, that's not a cabaret.
It's not a cabaret. It's not a cabaret, my guys. It's not what that means.
No, but I'm going to start calling it a cabaret.
Is this their attempt to PG-ify it?
Maybe.
Probably.
Or is it just
between the hubris and... Oh, no, I think it is just an attempt to PG-ify it, but, like, guys, just, like, call her, like, Kronos Giorgio. It's not like it's
Whorehouse Giorgio.
Lady of the Night Giorgio.
There you go.
Red Light District Giorgio, yes.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And a theme pack with
Connoisseur Giorgio. Orion Connoisseur Giorgio. There you go.
Power Bottom Giorgio.
Oh, wow.
I knew it was wrong as it came out of my mouth. Can we tape over this part of the show?
Yeah,
nope,
sure.
Too late. It's already been clipped.
I'll recut it all. No one.
It's already been clipped.
Jeez.
Do you want this card? Do you want this card at some point in the future? That's the question.
I do.
Do you?
I actually do.
Yeah, I love Giorgio.
If she shows up in a Behold, I'll be happy. But I wasn't going to shell out on a Tuesday pack for her.
No.
I did like 3 pulls on the off chance, and I was like, it's a bit of a shame, but it's not like I'm missing out on anything. The only reason I did it was because I like Giorgio. I love Michelle Yeoh. She's an amazing actress.
Have you ever...
Girl, May fucking Lin, man.
Have you... No, I was going to say, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Because she's fucking amazing.
I have not actually yet, but I do know that it made my boyfriend cry, so I'm going to have to get around to watching it at some point.
It's really... I mean, it's not just emotional, but it's a really freaking good kick-ass film. Like, it's great.
I would have liked more serious Prime Universe Giorgio, I think.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see more of Yeoh acting in that capacity. Maybe even kind of like an Admiral Clancy type hard-nosed sort of thing. Because they put her in leather a lot in Discovery, and it's like, fine, she can pull it off, but it's like, I would like to see a little bit more.
Well,
I almost get the impression that part of the reason why she signed on was because she got to be a scenery-chewing villain, and guess what? Actors love that shit. Yeah. They just love it.
Walt says, does that mean we get Cabaret Billups?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Some point.
Standing in front of the mirror, looking down his... Anyway. Her ship ability is...
I think you were going to say?
Let me go. Just talking about... Because of what
Prime Giorgio meant to the other characters. It would have been nice to have seen more of that instead of just had to kind of imply it. And yeah, Cranky, Desert Giorgio is the only Prime
not.
variant of Giorgio
Actually,
we
no.
have. Oh,
Lieutenant Giorgio.
Lieutenant
What?
and Armed Philippa.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, no, as well.
wait, Lieutenant is...
Lieutenant Giorgio
Sure?
is Prime. Yeah, because that's a flashback to.
She's on the short track.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, well, I didn't see it, so I did.
It's a good one.
You fake fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, how dare Big not see a 15-minute short track of like a thing that wasn't even attached to like Netflix or anything like that. You had to go and buy the Blu-ray, which who even does that anymore?
No.
Speaking of
You
which-
are the fake fan for gatekeeping. It was you all along.
I draw all my power from gatekeeping other Trek fans. That's
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Silly me.
that's your Shang Tsung. It's like, your soul is mine. Yeah.
get over here. All right, now to the in-game censored Mariner number 6 today, I think.
Oh yeah, okay, fine. Her shipability is interesting. But anyway, hang on, where is she? Why
Maybe
did I
the
not
most...
put- I should have put these in order.
Maybe the most
There we go.
interesting card in the Mega.
Tier
Just because of what
Interesting, yes, probably.
tier one tier.
Second,
She is the
second
top.
tier 1 Mariner, for whatever that's worth.
Second one's
Captain of the Vinpocalypse, Marauder Vindicta, is determined to take down Captain Freeman at any cost, preferably on a rickety catwalk.
So look, we've now got Vindicta
Not
Mariner.
that.
We've got Pirate Tendy. We've got Thingy Bionic 5.
Bionic
Rutherford.
5.
When do we get Shempo? Give me Shempo.
Shimpo! They killed that poor Shimpo.
Yeah, she's got a boom. She's got a big boom.
Yeah.
She's got massive collection value, including holodeck enthusiasts. I never thought that'd get expanded,
Wait.
for Christ's sake.
She's
Yeah.
got holodeck
It's
enthusiast.
Yes, she is.
Has
sure,
she?
yeah.
I need to update my sheets.
yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
I just used her to get my
Suddenly-
last Janeway, so...
Wow.
Suddenly, Beowulf Kim just became even more useless.
Yeah.
The one
Well-
shred.
I'd still take him
No.
over, like, Jazz Odo, but whatever. You're picking nits at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. You're sifting through the garbage, like, this half-eaten Burger King is, like, a
Yes,
little bit less
you're-
rotten, but
you're-
this McDonald's, like, a rat's at it right now, and I have to fight the rat. It's like, which one? do I want?
Okay. Idle's right here. Great voyage, great base, great collection, blah blah blah. But the shipability is like unheard of good. This is not only a gold level legendary shipability. This is good for a legendary crew. It's 400%,
godlike.
no trigger,
Limited.
fast
Yeah.
cycle, no
limits.
limits. It's like, and I think Ben did it directly address it in Discord. He's like, because someone asked, is it going to be nerfed? Because they were worried about it. Because, well, we tried something new with it, and we're aware it's a little bit powerful. So it's very powerful. And
Yeah.
if you're working your
It's-
way through not just these boss battles, but next seasons and the seasons after that, you are going to want at least one copy, maybe more.
It's like if you don't want to
Between-
retrieve or
Oh, and there's
cite
Ben and chat.
Mako
Pentagram on the floor. We talked about nerfing a crew, and here he comes.
Yeah. No, it's like if the prospect of retrieving and or citing tactical Mako Mayweather is not appealing to you, welcome to Vindicta Mariner. You can use
Yeah.
her instead. I mean, it won't have quite the same punch, but it will do, probably 90% of what Mayweather does, and it's a purple that you were able to
Yeah.
get in an event or in recaps if that's still going to be
Yeah.
in play
And
for you.
for context of just how much it can help, I switched over from an instant damage setup to 3 hull repairs and this Mariner, and it doubled my fleet boss damage for every attempt. Now, yes, it took longer because I had to do it manually, but that's a lot more bang for your buck.
Not to derail, I just got 12
I can't read
average.
that. Okay, yeah.
Thank you. It's still not focusing in. It's not happening.
12
It's
hours
not.
3. Anyway, carry
I
on.
think that says 7 hours.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nah, you used a revive token. I saw it. I saw it.
Unverified.
Yeah.
Unverified.
Sorry, I just wanted to check. I just want to check that collection because that's crazy if she's in.
Well, while we're
Yeah,
flexing
shut
on,
that porn. How dare you have to play more manual? How dare you have to play the game more?
Holy
while
shit,
we're
she
flexing
is.
on voyages, I mean, I did.
She's in the holodeck
Yeah.
enthusiasts. That's crazy. There are so many other cards that could be in the holodeck enthusiasts, like the entire Bad
Someone
Pink
else on the
collection.
show already said that. I don't
All
remember
right.
who that was.
Let Big flex.
Sorry.
Oh, I did have a 12-hour, 58-minute Eng Med voyage yesterday.
Oh, that's tasty. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Eat
was
your
it very-
vitamins,
Welcome to
say
the
your
gun show.
prayers.
So I told someone about our show, and they watched some of it.
What,
And
in
they're
real
like,
life?
"So you just talk? You just talk the whole time?" I go, "Yeah. There's actually no gameplay." So, well, thank you for showing the only actual gameplay in the whole stream.
Hey,
oh
you
no,
did
I
that
did. I
Behold.
opened a Behold.
You hold
That's right.
about. You did that. We don't talk about gameplay.
30 seconds of gameplay in our stream.
Yeah. Well,
that's
yeah,
good.
we don't do it like the kids do it, where they have the stream up and it's like, watching someone play Minecraft for 6 hours.
There isn't much of a game to show off.
Guys, Timelines Talks hot tub stream. All right. I'm gonna exercise in front of the water, and the subs will
I'll
come
be in the
rolling
gym.
in. I'll tell Jim to expect you.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's so good. I'm stealing that. Oh. I've got
could do my
I've got
whole
a colleague at
super
work
cut.
that goes every lunchtime. I'll be in the gym, and why has that never occurred to me? That is so good.
Dude, you can do a whole supercut of things that will get us banned from Twitch from this stream.
That's on Twitch.
I wish just go to YouTube. They can ban us.
Wait, do it again. I missed it. Watch the replay like everyone else.
YouTube.com/timelinestalks.
I was going to make a crack about, does that mean that Big and I have to be dressed up in those stupid leotards that Troy and Crusher were wearing and then go
Yes,
backwards
and you
and
have to
forwards like
stretch
that?
Yes. I'm just going to be wearing gold speedos and Picard's sort of overall, like, loose summer vest.
I wish to read my spreadsheets in peace. Thank you.
All right, next chill stream, we're going to break down the etymology of the Horgon, and if it was named
The
intentionally. which
Riser
I'm sure it
stream.
was.
Are we having the Riser stream? Oh gosh, we could probably get banned for that.
Oh boy.
There we go. Anyway,
Lady of the Night Horgon.
Vindicta? How did we get from Vindicta to Riser? Who did this?
I feel like
We're
it's
having-
a shorter range than you think of.
Anyway,
Hey,
good
when
card.
they have fun with the game and they make good cards and flavorful cards, then, we're in good spirits. So there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about... Hey, there's a giveaway happening, except it's not happening. But there is a limited treasures happening at the moment, which is kind of like elusive treasures, but they're limited, which you can... It's structured a little bit different to what I've seen. Behold me at time, maybe. We'll see if we get time. I can see Otto's giddy face is like, yes, let's do Beholder meters.
No, I'm checking how many crew we have. Only 4 crew left.
We're okay, we're good. But limited treasures. So yes, the next limited treasures is on, and guys, they've done this a few times. Is this something they should do?
Well, this is not elusive treasures.
Oh, sorry, this is limited.
It's a little bit different. So I think it's the last 2 times they've structured it. You have a 75% chance for purple, 25% chance for a gold, and it's a single pull, and it's not a 10-pack.
So is this a limited chance to get a treasure that I will treasure in the limited capacity? Kind of like an objective event that I had to play objectives in order to get an objective amount of... oh no, I've got Gosside.
Yeah.
An objective event is an event you can play for objectives. No.
So is this mixed rarity?
Yes.
Or is it...
Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? This isn't just a goal.
I don't know. I haven't pulled one. If I didn't have a show where I had to talk about people about this news and thing, I wouldn't know.
We should
God.
we should
All
play.
right,
We should
let's
play this.
find out.
Oh
Oh.
no!
No, I don't do it.
No, I'm not that degenerate. It says the limited treasures pack guarantees a super rare or legendary behold. So I think it'd be
so
3
it's
of
not
the
mixed,
same
right?
rarity.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
Walt
You can
says
discover
no,
it in 2 flavors.
and he knows people. So
Thank you, Walt. But the thing is, we're expecting a giveaway at some point, but things went wrong with their new web store, so we're waiting for a free single pull.
which is store.StarTrekTimelines.com. Ben, there you go.
There you go.
Buy dilithium.
Doesn't have the same ring
Checks
as
in the mail.
BigBook.app, does it? Not quite as
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue.
This isn't quite
The alliteration, you need it.
Yes.
It honestly support. That's why every Marvel character is an alliterative name, because you never forget them.
No. Who could forget 3D man?
Except for all this times that Stan Lee called him something different in the text. But that's another thing.
Fine.
Store.geocities.timelines.net
Perfect.
Got
Can't go wrong
TNG theme .mp3.
/ MySpace.
You get an extra 5% if you go through this live journal.
Yeah.
Ben just says, we were going to name the web store Big Book, but that was taken. Well, I think bigbook.com is still a thing. You could... Or was that just read
Damn
into...
it, Namer, get on that.
Bigbook.org.
It's the Babel Library of Knowledge, so we
So,
could qualify for .org.
I think
Do we have a Klingon translation yet?
No, why not?
No, but Namer, if you mention that to him, he might actually do it.
He would.
He'll be up by
He's a
tomorrow.
guy
You have-
who would.
Yeah.
You have like English, Croatian, and then Klingon as your 3 options for the Big Book.
I like to browse in Croatian. No, but sometimes when I'm feeling it, the original Klingon suffices.
Yeah.
Okay, elusive. Everybody is supposed to get one free pull at this when and if they sort out the issues with the web store. I assume that they're going to figure that out at some point.
So here's the fun thing. So the web store, you just basically add your DBID and then claim whatever. You could potentially add someone else. If you've got a friend that says, "Oh, I don't want that free pack," you could get someone to give you about
VIP
20.
0 players.
Yeah, you could just give them about 20 packs if you don't want. If you want to be really generous and not have your shit pulled, you could give it to somebody else if you know their DBID. So I wonder if anyone.
You know anyone generous in this game, Idle?
I
might be convinced to do it for maybe a competition. Maybe I will give someone one of the free elusive treasure pulls.
don't think you can
Discord.
gift it to someone. You put in the ID of the account it's going to, and it's
that's
only
what I
going to
mean.
be
If you put the
redeemable
ID,
once.
if you put their DBID in and then press the give free.
Yes, but they can just claim their own. So they're only going to get
could
one
they
no
not claim
matter
another
what.
one? If it was on my
No.
browser? Oh.
No.
Well, that's
You could use their ID to
makes
make a
sense.
purchase and send them packs, I'm
Paying
assuming.
money for people. By people's
But I
subs.
don't
They
think
should
you
like it.
Can you imagine the whole fleet just funnels all of their 50 packs into one person's account?
I mean, why not?
And then they're all AFBs. Who
Yeah.
thought?
Yeah,
I
that's
think
one
Frank
per
is
player.
hurting for Behold.
What a shame.
So,
That'd be
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ben just said explicitly
player.
one per player.
This is idle shower thoughts on beer number 4. He's like, what if we...
Number two.
Okay.
Speaking of looking at things after beer number 2, here's first Monarch. Someone's going to have to pronounce this for me because I cannot remember this episode at all.
Kaitama.
Kaitama. Is that the same as Saitama from One Punch Man? Okay.
Considerably less interesting.
Yeah.
One drink, man.
I will in a minute. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to go for a toilet break, and you have to talk about this card in an interesting manner, as if she's a card you want for that duration.
Rescued from her abductors by Tucker, Kaitama finds herself in a tense survival situation, very different from her plush royal lifestyle. I hate when they do this. She's in a tense survival situation, but not a survivalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that would give a
whatever.
collection value, you see. You can't have that.
So this is, I'm going to shout out Roy Kirk here, who's a noted original series enthusiast. This is the episode Elan of Troyes, basically. She's a royal brat, and Tucker / Kirk have to whip her into shape. Which, and surprise, the series did do a few of those old scripts like Bound and the Orion Girls. This is one they probably could have done without, because there's a little bit misogyny, where,
I hate it. Here's the thing: is I love Tucker. He is unironically my favorite part of Enterprise. Maybe T'Pol and Phlox, but there's something about Tucker being just uncompromisingly kind of like a positive influence and just wanting to go out there and see cool shit and fix a warp engine. And yeah, he has a little bit of prejudice, but he's very quick to grow past it. It kind of flares up the most on that planet with that turns you on to paranoid maniacs, but he grows past it. And so generally speaking, Tucker episodes, I like them. But God, I fucking hate this episode. God, I hate it. It's one of those. I've seen this episode a million times in not just in Star Trek and other sci-fi, and every time it pops up, I'm like, oh, it's one of these episodes, and I'm like, okay, time to turn the volume down to 11 out of 50 and just watch to see for the one scene I'll remember, and then just erase it from my mind so that I can remember another detail about Ralph Khan the next time I watch that. And the problem is like it's not just the setup being tired and literally a 60s TV script done by rote in like 2001. I think it's the season 1 episode. Acting's not very good, and I'm pretty sure like the actress is good. I imagine the direction wasn't there. It just feels like everyone was phoning it in. So frankly, in terms of like adaptation of from screen to card, she's probably better than she has any right to be. Not that she's any good, but
Well, this is actually because it is kind of you don't want this is not a powerhouse statistical crew like you don't want it to be, but the episode has a lot of flavor for better for worse, and the art kind of conveys what she's like. The ship battle quote is your entire species so ill-mannered, like that kind of encapsulates her. The flavor text is good. So it's like they put a lot of flavor elements together, and from that point of view, it's a well-done card. So you don't need it necessarily to be a powerhouse.
Yeah, no, it's a case of if we were talking about this crew before the collection's explosion, then you'd be like, you know what, this is a pretty decent card. Like you got some weird crates. I do love that she is Creosian, which is not it's a previously existing species, although it's a bit of an odd pull. But hey, why not? Literally, why not? You're doing a prequel. Why not develop it? And a little bit of med didn't hurt. It breaks up the thing. She's got a decent voyage rank, a decent dip rank for a super rare. But we live in a world where for 85% of players, maybe even more, purples, you get your star, you sight them up, they go in the freezer, you probably never look at them again.
So, I love that this is the second time the episode of Perfect Mate has come up on this episode. Which leads me to B, go watch the scene with Picard and Bev at the end of that, which I think I plugged before on the show, but it's tier 1 Patrick Stewart, where he opens up about his vulnerability and his feelings, and that is so good. So, yeah, Creosian, like, that's such a weird pull, but I like that they brought it back.
Guess what? Do more obscure pulls, like the fact that in Prodigy they decided to bring that a Medusan. Like, that's cool. Do more of that. Like, do more of the one more thing. It's like, guess what? Andorians were a 1-episode appearance for a while. Tellarites were a 1-episode appearance until you decide to bring them back and develop them. Why not? Gyro, I love you. Never change.
You're one of our most faithful
Continue
viewers.
to be your own unique stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're not piling on you. I seriously want to hear
Yeah.
dissenting opinions, because I think we're all kind of in the camp that it wasn't a great episode, but if you love it,
No, if there isn't a
Absolutely.
compelling reason that we're overlooking to why this episode deserves everyone's attention, I would love to know what it is.
To be fair, also, there are some objectively bad episodes that I love and will never be convinced otherwise, so,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because from an objective
honestly,
point of view, the pregnant Tucker episode is probably kind of bad, but I still
I love that
find it
episode.
hilarious.
I really like
Yeah,
that
but it's
episode.
kind of bad. But I
so
kind of love
good.
it.
A child could get caught in there.
well, and kind of
Well, be
the
a child in engineering, so.
by that same token, it's like the cogenitor episode of Enterprise is kind of looked at as on the better side, but I don't like what it means for Tucker's character, so I really don't care for it. Because it's like he's just interfering in something far past.
You know what
when
I
he
just
shouldn't.
realized, actually? Ben, if you're still here, this card is better than any Tucker that exists in the game at the moment.
Oh, wow.
And that's...
We need a good Tucker.
That is awful. Give us... We had 4 Mariners
Pregnant
this
Tucker,
week. Give me
yes.
4 Tuckers.
Give me
Pregnant Tucker.
Tier 1
Give me
Voyager.
Captain Tucker. Give me Captain Tucker. Give
No.
me...
Right. Can I make my case for why Pregnant Tucker should be Tier 1 Voyager? He literally went where no man has gone before. He got pregnant.
It's true. It is actually true.
Except for Arnold Schwarzenegger, what are you talking about?
Oh, okay, fine. He could be number 2.
Anyway. And I would also love Sim Tucker. I would love... just give me a million of them. I love Trip. He's so good.
Tucker and T'Pol Morning from Terra Prime.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
if you want
that
a
scene
bummer.
kills me every time.
Yeah.
I hope they don't accidentally print a decent Chakotay though, because that would break the game.
Oops, this just fell out of my
Break
pocket.
the habit of a
Chakotay.
lifetime.
Where's timeless Chakotay?
Ben, I
They're too
know
committed
that, like,
to the bid
yeah,
at this point.
yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
Ben,
How
I
many years
absolutely
is it-
love you.
Yeah.
OP Tucker, please. I actually would really appreciate it, because he's one of my
Don't
favorite
listen
Star
to
Trek
it.
characters.
How many years has it been since you've got all your OP warps? Like, come on.
Yeah, guess what? Warp is fine. Warp's in a really good place. You know who needs good variants? Tucker, and for the matter, Uhura as well.
Anyone
Yeah.
else, maybe?
No, that's it.
I
That's
can
the
write the
whole
whole
list.
list if you want.
That's the whole list.
Yeah, I have a list of grievances, and now that you are captive in my audience.
Anyway, Kaitama. Coming up next on the show, we have the second to last super rare. Oh no, actually, yeah, second to last super rare crew. We haven't talked about
So
yet.
you reach out to hit your stream deck or whatever and change your crew, and I feel like you're like reading Braille off the screen or something with those glasses.
It does have little nodules.
They
on it,
call
so I
him the
do
man
that, yeah.
without spreadsheets.
Anyway, here's Superstition.
If you want, I can play some Superstition. Play Superstition. Captain Carol Freeman, Command Dipsec, Tier 6, number 30, animated, diplomated, resourceful, communicator, 4 collections.
Diplomated.
Diplomated. Did I say that? I didn't mean to say that.
Idols in the 4 beer collection. Captain of the Cerritos, Freeman has a flair for the dramatic, extensive second contact experience, and no time for mariners' shenanigans.
Very nice.
That's pretty good.
Good flavor. Dude, they just,
Yeah.
it's like they woke up, they're like, wait, we can actually write like fun flavor text for these crew?
You
And,
can
like,
write whatever you want.
It's been
Whatever you
great.
want.
I think the best flavor text sounds like it's written from the character's point of view, and that one kind of does. She thinks very highly of herself.
See you, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
Have a go on, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
they're going
yeah.
to be doing a stream on their YouTube channel. Cool.
Yes, yeah, so new stuff to show.
Featuring a brand new overpowered Tier 1 Tucker.
Fantastic. And a
Heard it
super
here
rare
first.
And why not a Cadet Chakotay?
Yeah,
Just
first.
for fun. No, I like the flavor texts that sound like they're actually read in the character's voice or in their attitude, and this definitely does like sound like, you know, this has been sort of... Because Carol Freeman's very sort of like full of herself a little bit. She sort of thinks, oh, I'm the boss, you know, I'm the captain of the ship.
So
Anyway,
this
you
is,
talk.
this is another one of those generic variants, but I feel like the components are actually kind of neat. Her arena code is Warp Me, you know, so the hit it and the engage and all the classic captain things. She has that. It's a good flavor text. The site is she's okay in arena. +9 attack for purple is kind of what you want, and it matches up actually with Vindicta Marinu, who a lot of people are using. So you can use them together, and the mother daughter thing is kind of cool. So you know, it's hard to escape Command IPSEC, but at least the order makes sense and everything. So it's a little generic, yeah, but they did about as best as they could with
4
it.
collections
Look,
is
you
very
can't
nice.
come right out of the gate with Covert Ops holding a sapling, Freeman. That has to be held back for the gold.
Or
These saplings could be ready to sprout at any
Freeman.
time.
I'd like Ritos Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I love the Rito shirts. That's my
Yeah.
favorite. It's so good. I do love Warp Me. Like, I feel like she settled on a catchphrase way quicker than easier than Saru.
Yes.
Yeah,
Execute.
which actually I kind of like that for him. So.
I kind of liked Execute as well. It felt right, but you know. Do not read the last line of the big book right
No,
up
no,
on
no,
Freeman.
no, no.
You have been
No.
warned.
That's it. Either you know or you don't. Let's not go into that.
No,
one.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, I have to agree with Cairo on this. Like, I'm not a big thing on the Captain catchphrase. It's like it worked for Picard because it wasn't really a thing before Picard. And since then, it seems like they've been trying to recapture that same magic, and with varying degrees of success.
Yeah, because
that
it came back
don't-
with the 09 film where Pike did punch it, didn't it? He sort of had that,
Yeah.
and that kind of made people go, "Ooh, this is kind of."
Well, Janeway also had Do It, which was basically,
Yeah.
you know, kind of like she said that
Well-
almost every other episode in the other later seasons.
What do you think
Do
Cisco's would
it.
have been? Cisco's would have been like,
Yeah,
just
I mean,
do your
enhanced
fucking job.
Cisco's was enhanced maximum magnification. That was what Cisco's was.
No,
He
actually,
said
the
it
one
in every freaking episode.
I think the one that worked the best is the one I really can't talk about for spoilery reasons. So I will leave that there for now.
From which one?
What, for Cisco?
Oh, it's
Which show?
Oh no, from Picard.
Oh.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm like, is there a new Cisco episode that I
Yeah, I was
missed?
like, what?
No, because
He came back as living jazz.
He just comes back and goes, fuck you! And then they go to Warp 9.
I mean, Kirk did have Beam Me Up Scotty, so it wasn't a warp thing, but it was
Well,
that.
no, because
he never
they
said
never
that.
said
Like
it.
the-
They never said it.
he never
Yes.
said it.
But it was still the original catchphrase, bigger than
Yeah.
all the other ones.
I
so.
think
Yeah.
catchphrase is different to... Because Picard's catchphrases make it so, not engage, isn't it?
Well, they're
or
kind of
could be-
PS2.
True. But I
Exactly.
think catchphrase is different to the warp phrase. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hit it is okay. It just
I like it. It feels right for Pike. And it's the
Yeah.
fact that it was a thing in Discovery as well, so it's at least consistent across 2 series. It's like, it's not just a forced, we need a catchphrase so that he can have a thing later. It's like, no, this is just a thing that feels right for him to say. I'm fine with it. Don't think there's one... And I like that they kind of take the piss out of it with Freeman, whereas, like, warp me is like, that's such a weird thing to say. But you get used to it pretty quick, so I feel like it's appropriate. I like it. As a
Well,
meta
it's-
commentary on
it's for lower decks,
catchphrases
yeah.
is fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Works.
anyway.
But anyway,
You need a little help there, Idol?
Yeah, right. So, a little bit of a bummer now. We have to say goodbye to a long-standing stalwart of the Star Trek franchise, and rest in peace, Nichelle Nichols, who has sadly departed. I think it's a couple of weeks ago now. Joined other great legendary actors such as Leonard Nimoy and James Doohan in part of the original
DeForest
series, so in DeForest Kelley, yeah. So sadly, she passed away. But I think the most important thing is, everyone remembers that she's one of the pioneering, not just a pioneering actress in that era, but of racial diversity and sort of empowering women in an era where there was segregation and there was no women's rights, and there was a lot of political diversity in that time, and putting
Magnificent.
absolutely magnificent. So yeah,
Actually appropriate. That's the
Very
best
thank-
use of that trigger we've ever had.
That is,
Well done,
absolutely.
Clanky.
So Nichelle Nichols, literally pioneering spirit in the history of not just Star Trek television, but in humanity as a whole. Like, to the point, the famous story of her being talked by Martin Luther King to stay on the show because of how important her role was on modern television. So she has sadly departed, and WRG very kindly put up a free behold where you could get 3 of probably the best, stretching a limit, but say the best Uhura variants there are in the game.
They are.
Yeah.
All of them are good variants. Like, I mean, they're still, but it does kind of run into the problem that Uhura has across all of her variants, which is there is not a single version that has Psi, Eng, or Med.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're getting into the Worf problem where it's a bit egregious. We need a bit more diversity of skill set, especially because we didn't even have to dip into the Strange New Worlds well for engineering. She does it on the bridge. We've given med out for people who have been singing or bartending or counseling. Uhura did that all the time in the original series. Science may be a little bit harder to do, but I'm pretty sure there was at least 1 or 2 occasions where she filled in at the science station for Spock, which was another cool thing about Uhura. She was a completely talented and capable relief officer who could fill any other role on the bridge. It was part of what was cool about her. Hell, she even took the navigator and weapons position after Styles had to go down to the engine room in Balance of Terror. She was an incredibly talented lady, and I feel like we need to embrace that and start getting more diversity in our variants as well to reflect
As Kyra
that.
says, there's Uhura with engineering right there when she's in the kind of the engineering scrubs, isn't she? And she's sort of under the console repairing it. There's definite chance for better Uhuras out there.
Yeah.
The original series, because I know you're not necessarily the biggest fan of it, and you've warmed up to a little bit, Stars. In some respects, it's kind of you had to be their thing.
Oh yeah.
But I'm trying to how I can put it. It makes me feel very Klingon, where they talk about the heroic tales of old, and it's like, did that really happen? It doesn't matter at this point. When you hear about James Doohan saving that suicidal fan's life, and you hear about George Takei's stuff and Nichelle Nichols stuff, it's like did they really fight a giant green hand in space? Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
in universe, it really did happen. So, and just like that in real life too, it's like, were they really like that magnificent? Like, did Scotty lose his fingers, fighting the war? Like, yeah, those things actually, they were actually that cool in real life. They actually made a difference in a huge way, and it wasn't just a 3-year terrible, like, Lost in Space ripoff show. It was like, it changed. That's why we're still here. It's because it actually changed things in a huge way. And so when you lose someone like this, it's, you take it a lot more personally than celebrities of the modern era, because they are actual legends. And so
we should all be so lucky to have made the impact she did, and she was one of the most incredible entertainers of her time, and it's a massive loss, honestly.
Well,
and
that's why I appreciated that in the last couple of years there had been a concerted effort to really kind of reevaluate Nichelle Nichols' place both in the Star Trek universe and then in the world at large. And I think people really got to celebrate her while she was still with us, and I hope she got to experience as much of that as she could before her time was up.
Like, and kudos to Gene Roddenberry, as much as he has his flaws, and we know he does, but for him, he was always a champion of racial diversity. In a time when there was a Cold War, he put a Rush on the bridge, and he absolutely championed Uhura to be in that position. Like, there were no shows where women had position of power. Like, the controversial thing about the cage, and why didn't one of the critics was saying is like, we don't think a woman should be on the bridge, and it was said in the pilot they didn't want a woman to have that position of power, so he put Uhura in a position of power. A black woman in position of power in the 60s is such a huge leap, and it's not. And Nichelle Nichols, in her grace, carried that so well. From her opening episodes, she didn't take no for an answer. It was a case of like, she was on the bridge and you knew it because you saw her. You didn't just feel her. She's not just there as a token of representation, as that has been done. She was there as a character. Her singing with Spock, her chatting up Scotty, things like that. Her interactions with Chapel and things like that. She was very much a living, breathing part of that cast that no one could forget.
She had real, genuine charisma, and it really comes through in every one of her scenes. Even though she didn't have a lot to do, it just she just felt larger than life in that respect, and it just, man, yeah. I said previously what a loss, but also how much we gained as a result of her, and we should be so grateful. What a legacy, though.
It's hard to comment too much on this kind of thing, because we're all white men, so it's like, how much can you say about how it's actually impacted you? But kids growing up these days watching a cartoon are going to see Beckett Mariner and her mom kicking ass, and New Trek has
Burnham and Raffi.
Thank you, and so it's
and Awushikun as well, actually.
And for her time, you had actors like Nichelle Nichols. You had Richard Daystrom, the M5 episode. That is like one of the strongest depictions of, because the guy is suffering, but he's an absolute genius, and he's doing things that an entire fleet of engineers couldn't do, working in concert. So it's like, Gene does have his foibles for sure, but if you listen to interviews from the people that worked under him or worked with him, in that aspect, he definitely did do well, and it set up things so that, I guess, for lack of a better term, we could be more open about that kind of thing now and not act like it's like it's taboo or,
Yeah.
The infamous kiss with William Shatner in was it Who Mourns for Adonais?
Or Plato's Stepchildren?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I always get those two confused. But yeah, where they're forced to have a kiss, but the first interracial kiss on TV caused a huge outroar. But it was such a progressive move that needed to happen.
And that behind the scenes story, I think it was of both of them. I think didn't they Necro executives want them to do a take with the kiss and one without? And then they just kept on fucking up both of them intentionally. No, we refuse to do a usable take where we don't kiss.
Yeah, because the network said, well, let's do one without, and everyone knew. They said, that's the one they're going to use.
That's the one they were going to go for, so and Bill Shatner, you can say a lot about him. Although I know you've been reading his book, and he has his faults, but when when the cards were down,
Yeah.
he did the right thing, and but not to take away. It must have been really a bit scary for Nichelle Nichols to have to do that because like they did get some
hate mail. There was
very
hate
interesting mail after that. Yeah, it was hate mail. Yeah, but also changing perspectives as well. So it's hard to measure how much of a social impact something like Trek in the the modern day is going to have because we're living it now. We don't know what kind of effect people like Adira in Discovery or Mariner in Lower Decks is going to have for people in the future, but we can only hope that they set as positive example as Uhura did and Nichelle Nichols did.
And for anyone that turns around and says, "Oh, Trek's too woke," fuck you.
Yeah,
there it is, like right here.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to do a show, a special or whatever. We need to go back and like talk about some of these actors who passed because we're missing a lot of the TOS cast now, and maybe let's not wait until Shatner passes to do it because people are going to talk about T.J. Hooker and hey, he's Captain Kirk who got all the ladies, but actually Shatner too made a big impact in his own way. So I'd love to go back and talk about some of these legends.
Definitely.
That'd be great.
We can have a TOS special.
It's like, and he had his comedic moments, but it's like that people remember the Kirk from the original series as much sillier than he actually was when you just watch the episodes. So, I mean, that's not what we're talking about right now, but I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
What could be cool is if we just did a show that's like like a TOS special, but we just talk about all the moments that are immortalized by the cards. That could be interesting. Just like track it through the cards, and then see how.
All our departed actors, because DS9 has lost a few now, and
Renee and
Aaron
Eisenberg. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we've hit the hour 3, the little bit of dip where we're all like, oh yeah,
getting mournful and the drink starts.
Well, we're also talking about a loss to the community.
Yeah,
so.
we are talking about loss. So yes, R.I.P. Nichelle.
A loss to the community that we're pretty underqualified to talk about at length. Yet here we are.
Yeah, here we are. But thank you very much, WRG, for making this a free pack. This is
absolutely
not that any kind of monetary value should be attributed to someone's death, but it's nice as a tribute in the best way you can in timelines to say, here's the celebration of Uhura, and everyone can benefit from it. So that I do appreciate.
Absolutely.
And Big, that means something though, that if we're from such a different background as her, but she still made that big an impact on people like us. That says something in itself.
I care about more than my color. It impacts everyone. It impacts me. So if I want everyone to be happy, I want everyone to be free and equal in this world. And the best way we can do it is to celebrate the people that made that happen. So.
And here, Shower.
Infinite diversity in infinite combinations.
Absolutely.
But let's beat the drum for a killer Uhura, just like a monster Uhura card. That's something out of the lane that she's been in for the entirety of this game. So yeah,
absolutely.
So I did go back and look. Worf for the longest time only had command of sec variants, and we started complaining about that. 6 out of his last 7 have not been. So, they listen.
I will bang that drum.
They listen to a lot of boss battle feedback, and they have changed course on something. So Uhura is the next one up. Let's hope.
I'll just have like a big whiteboard. It'll say like months since last Uhura variant, XYZ months since last variant with anything other than these 3 skills.
If my whiteboard could be seen more, If my whiteboard could be seen more on my camera, then I would do it. Yeah, get a ticker. We'll get a ticker going. All right. Back to crew. How are you expecting me to segue from Nichelle Nichols to phased Boimler? I do not know, but please someone come up with it while I find the crew.
Boimler was helping Rutherford with a transporter experiment and ended up phased after an accident.
So same episode as Tending the Dog.
A Boim experiment.
Yeah. He got boimed.
Boimed me. The boimed.
So all the Boimler cards are like bad compared to some of the best of the other lower decks.
It's on purpose at this point.
Yeah, I think it is.
Which is a shame
Like,
because Boimler has his moments. Like he's a neurotic
Yeah, no,
mess.
we can absolutely get some real.
He's the Rimmer of Star Trek, really, but not as bad.
No, come on, no.
True. Oh, okay, maybe not.
He was never that bad. I feel like we could get some really fun variants that would be worthy of like a really great stats and some golds. I don't want to spoil too much because we've already been talking a lot about various different lower decks things, and I don't want to spoil it because guess what? Season 3 is out in 8 days.
Is it?
Whew.
I thought is it this
8
month?
days.
No? Oh shit! Wow.
It's this month.
Yes.
So
can't wait.
get caught up on season 1 and 2 if you have not. Season 3 is around the corner. It's all good. It takes a little while to get going, but it's a great series.
It's so good.
And yeah, great.
If you're
art. I
a
absolutely
real
love it.
Star Trek fan, then you'll like it.
Oh boy.
I was having my conversation with my dad about
kicking,
this because my dad got me into Star Trek, and he was the one that did that. And but he infamously hated things like Futurama, even though Futurama's great because it's animated. Because he's that age, is like, oh, it's a cartoon. Like, we won't watch it, and I'm sort of hesitant to say like, but Lower Decks is really good for you because you're an old school Star Trek fan, so you'd like that, but you wouldn't like it because it's animated. So,
You know,
I mean,
but it is so very good.
It's also a kind of a mile a minute show.
It is, yeah,
where
without a doubt.
You've really gotta. You can't be like watching something, doing something.
Yeah, you
else
got to
while
focus
watching
up.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if it helps anyone else enjoy it, I can't really watch it the same way I watch other Star Trek because I like the nerdy stuff. I like digging down. I like the references and the technobabble and all that stuff. And this show's a little different than that. So you can't sit down really and watch it like a normal Trek show. But if you sit down and just watch it as a show or a cartoon, you're going to get some neat storylines. You're going to get some guest actors, some guest voices. You're going to get some really
It's the
hilarious
Star Trek show for Star Trek fans. Like, it's not a Star
references
Trek
to,
show.
like,
It's not a
TNG and
show.
stuff.
It's not a sort of like a primetime show you'd put on for like the general public who want to watch some sci-fi. It is the show for people that have watched a lot of Star Trek that want to watch something funny and just get a kick out of it.
It's the show for people to be, oh look, it's Okana. That just point at things. That's what this show is for. It's for people that
It's like a Kirk
appreciate...
Sunday with Trip Trapper Signals. Like it's the people who get that line. Like it's
It'll never be my favorite, but it'll never be my least favorite because it's just a different show.
Yeah.
And
And we're talking about that because his Boimler card is boring as hell.
Well,
He's
got
plus
like
one
one
inspiring.
Yeah, he's got one relevant trait, and then that's kind of it. And the animated collection, so you can cap your chronotons slower.
So, shall we talk about one last boring card for who ordered this? The legendary crew you can win next week if you wish to participate for All In Awasakan, and I think this is the first directly spoilerish season 4 Discovery card. So I'm now kind of going to say that season 4 Discovery is off the table now. We can talk about it. Yeah, but he was kind of generic.
Coming back with the season 4.
Yeah, for that kind of happened
uniform
episode
is
1
enough.
or 2. So, but yeah, at any rate, this is. I think we can now say that season 4 spoilers are off the table. We can talk about it for those that have seen it, which I think.
Yeah. Otaka.
I think I've only the one that's seen it.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't been able to find the time to do it yet because I've been catching up on Prodigy and Lower Decks and other things, but I will get there.
This is probably only one of the few episodes where Owasa can get some character development. It's a great Owasa like she gets not like a whole episode devoted to her, but it is it's Mariner and Owasa and they enter like basically they use her for a fighting rink and Owasa sort of like bluffs them and has a bit of
Owasa was picked for this mission because of her raw determination to act, which she shows again in the fighting ring with a knockout.
That is absolutely a spoiler.
Slightly more generic. Yeah.
A bit generic.
That's a slightly more generic flavor, yeah.
Can we talk about the art? Why has she got big head mode on? Why is someone activated that cheat code in NBA Jam? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It is not. It's a bad likeness.
It is
like I haven't, I'm not a devoted disco fan, but I've seen 3 seasons of it, and I would not have picked this out as a Owasa.
Yeah, it's not a good likeness. It's also a step down from her previous card. Like Honor to Wushkun was a really great Voyager and great card at her time. Obviously, it now has passed like kind of out of relevancy because of like power creep. But Also, just going straight back into the command dipsec, well, never a good sign. Also, I feel like Owushkun is kind of the... So people have a problem with Discovery, and it's a fair thing. It's a change in format in which most of the bridge crew are not the main characters. Owushkun is bridge crew and is closest to being a main character because she gets the most development. We know the most about her. And the fact that you would take the character who has the most development of all these crew, that people are like, oh, I want to see more of them, and then give her, like, not only command dipsec, but also literally on the precipice of about to fall out of relevancy. I don't know why you do this. This feels like a really misplaced thing to do.
Well, I don't think she's the worst card out there. You have some.
No, but
she's decently traded. Athlete, duelist, gambler, brutal, crafty. So they went the extra inch for that. She has a top 5 base. She has a +10 attack boost, so you could use her if you want. If you're a big OO fan, you can use her in a few different areas. So, yeah the Voyages and the skill set are kind of a bummer, but she was going to be a sec primary anyway, so...
This would have been very easy to justify, like, an Eng tertiary because she's, like, chief operations officer. Like, they've done, like, guess what? My badgie probably shouldn't have med, but they bothered to do it. Like,
yeah. I can't think of anything I can't see her having Psi from watching the episode, or Eng, or Med. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah, but like a side primary for having a badge pinned to her, so they could have done anything they wanted.
Yeah. Don't forget, we were literally just talking about Data and Spot, where he has like Eng and Psi for holding a cat. Like, not even holding a cat, but like, it's sometimes it's not about the scene. Sometimes it's about making sure that you have a card that's worth using. And I love Owushkun. I like Discovery in general, but
and this
like,
is a good one for her. Like, there's a scene with her talking. I won't spoil, but like, even though I said spoilers are off, you guys haven't seen it. Fuck you. But there is a scene where she is talking with Ruan Taka that's really good. So like, this is a good moment for her.
It's just a bit of a fumble for Divergely. Like, I kind of feel like they could have done better, but. These things happen. Guess what? You can't have like 4 weeks of knocking it straight out with lower decks, like flavor decks, without taking a hit somewhere else. And it's like it kind of sucks. They have to be a Owushkun though.
Yeah. I mean, there is a fatigue of chasing after powerful cards week after week after week after week. So I mean, I can understand the reasoning, but I don't think this was the one.
This kind of sounds like you guys are writing her epitaph, and she's not actually that bad. She's not. We've been a little bit spoiled, so she is usable. Like, would you rather have this or or Dreamwalker Chakotay?
I just think for people that have been playing and getting the free cards, Returning Saru, Enterprise Pike, Lieutenant Sahil, exactly. Like, it's that skill set. It's not going to do much.
It's like if you're going to go down the command dipsec route, there's got to be something else to hang your hat on.
If you're joining the game like a week ago and you can compete in an event, or you want to just pull the packs, great, fantastic. But in the stack of things that have been given to us for free, I can't. That's what gives me pause.
I would legit be a lot happier about her if she just had better art. Like, I feel like that would have elevated it. I would have. Like, when you're playing a card collecting game, it's an important component of the thing. In the end, like, maybe I'm shallow, but that's playing.
They've just made her head too big. It sounds terrible, but they just have.
I'm looking down. Sorry, we have one giveaway top 50 security base, and it's right now in the portal Rescue Team Uhura, and you have to choose one of 3. So. The skill set's loaded, but in terms of sec bases for giveaway crew, if you're a low-spending casual player, you may not have quite as many of them, or at least not the fused-up ones. So
that's fair.
I guess
I'm looking for a silver lining here, guys.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Was any part of High Roller Cisco given away, or was he just a campaign crew?
He was a campaign. There's several campaign crew, but
a paid campaign.
That's a different thing
at that point. All right, gentlemen.
I can't wait for us to get all the season 4 disco crew because I love those uniforms. I can't wait to have the most brightly coloured uniform. I love a brightly coloured bridge. I do. That was one of my favourite things about getting Umbenga from that thing. Is like, I know. Is when I got Umbenga and I could have one of every single Strange New World's operational colours. Like, it's just it scratches that itch in my back of my nerd brain. I just appreciate it.
Commander Rep, Big McLarge, huge, showing out for us.
He is the Chad. It's understood.
Shall we, gentlemen, let's wrap up to a good 3 hours and do do our beholder meter. So I will need a sound, gentlemen, if my toggle is going to work.
My tricorder's out of battery, I'm afraid.
Oh, no!
Sorry.
Someone's got to make the sound. I'm not pressing it until it makes sound.
Big's always game for it.
Oh God.
Okay. We have 0 stars on Chancellor Laurel. We have 0 stars on Booker and Grudge. We have 2 stars on Beowulf Kim.
Ooh.
Oh boy. I gotta go Booker here. Great art. I love the character. Bit of edge to break up the gamut. He's got 2 collections, and he is a main cast crew, so he'll get events. Yeah, I'd probably go Booker. I like him.
Well, it's another collection now too.
Oh yeah, the pet collection.
Yeah.
There you go, 3 collections.
I might stump for Laurel.
And
can't retrieve Laurel. Diplomat Klingon.
Yeah.
So that's
Probably
a rare
don't want
one.
to at this point, though.
Yeah, she was good at a time, but now it's
I'm
like...
not thinking stats, I'm thinking collections.
If I had a nickel for every Klingon Chancellor, diplomat, politician, I'd have 4 nickels.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened 4 times.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
But,
this is the collection. Behold.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
And I feel like at a certain part of the game, Booker might still sneak in and be useful.
Command
in other
Eng,
avenues.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
My bridge crew
Nice.
is
There you go.
Cat on the Queen's vessel. So I'm still showing out
She's
for
a
my
queen.
girls.
I'd say Laurel. I think collections, but plus that retrieval value. If you want to complete them, it's easier to do it through multiple crew than it is.
I
to do
could
it
see the
individually.
appeal. I do like that Laurel, especially because I love the art. Like, I like the kind of the matriarchal get up, and she was a good Voyager at one time, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Booker as well.
I think chat wants Booker too.
Yeah,
so
sounds
there
like
you go.
Booker.
Yeah.
Ding 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 Booker. Let's move it on. Someone give me a sound.
That's Geo, in case you're curious.
3 stars on Dagra, 2 stars on Resistant Kira, and 0 stars on Disguised Kira, and 0 stars on Section 31 Leland.
Venomous, I'm pretty sure Booker is absolutely in the pool.
Yes, Booker is in the pool.
I might.
The
I think I might go Degra here.
I would quite like
Yeah,
a Dugra.
Degra.
Degra, I think, yeah. Section 31 Leland. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean there
Get
was a time where a crew like Leland might have some consideration.
He had a boom. He's got a boom.
He's
yeah.
got Gauntlet as well,
But there's-
actually, that one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little
Not
bit.
as much, though.
45% and
Degra.
okay rolls. Yeah, I think that's
Degra.
Degra.
It's Degra.
I think Kira only has like 4 traits. She's kind of undertraded.
Bajoran, veteran, marksman, something else, I think. Yeah, it's not great.
Fabulous.
She's probably the worst Kira, kind of, in terms of, like, overall value. I think she's got, like, a gauntlet roll, but you wouldn't want to take her because it's too skiller.
I think,
I'd take Degra.
Leland, if you're a starting player, I say that makes sense, Tricky for Life. Like, he's got boom and he's got some gauntlet utility, but I say we're looking at what we got on the screen now. I'm going to say, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, with Leland.
Tricky's right. If you're a new player, you
Yeah.
can get Gauntlet and Arena in one package. Leland's fine, but
Sure.
at this point, I mean, if you're a new player and you have 3 stars on Degra and 2 on Kira, that would certainly be something.
I'm just really lucky on merit pulls, guys.
I make bad life choices.
Lucky.
Lucky.
Well, they'd be giving me
No,
all
I
this
just
good
randomly
crew
throw
song.
a legendary pole star into the retrieval and see what I get.
I should do that again
Don't
sometime.
know who
I've
do
got
that. Oh god.
Oh,
Sounds like,
You'll finish Vargas one day.
yeah,
I
only
would
through
go
random
Degra.
pulls.
All right, one more.
One more. All right. Give me a sound. Auto.
Da 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 da.
There you go, that's appropriate.
Ooh, 0 stars on Doctor Hugh Culber, 0 stars on Gull Madred, 0 stars on Gloria. This is interesting.
Huh.
You got big base collection or gauntlet?
Yeah. I think just going for the single star, I might go Gloria.
Miami Sound Machine.
Yes. The Miami Sound Machine from Cleveland. But yeah, just unlocking, even though she doesn't really have the power to be like a really strong contributor. It's like when she gets those guiding gauntlets, there's really not very many options.
Bartenders
That have
and
Yeah, it's basically her or bartender, and then
Yeah.
get fucked.
Yeah. So just having
she
that
has
in
a 65% as well. Yeah.
yes, she does.
Yeah.
So
And she does at least have a slightly different skill set to bartender because she's dip med command, so you might actually be able to hit the other you still need a bit of luck, but it's possible.
I'm a little surprised that she didn't factor more into boss battles because she's before they added McCoy, she was the only crew who went up to 11 attack. So over an extended period that may help, and then McCoy goes to 12. So
Depends on her uptime.
Yeah, well, and then also it's that
up.
you'd need all the stars to really take full advantage of that.
I mean, the costume collection is what the second biggest one we have. Communicator is pretty big too, and then she has a few more traits that can pop.
Big goodbye as
Big
well.
goodbye
Actually, is the vanity. Yeah.
She's not bad overall.
I mean, there was a time when I would have gone for Madrid because he kind of got out there early for stacking up collections, but Gloria's about the same. And then also there would have been a time to go for Culber with that huge med base.
Long since passed,
Yeah.
When we do our dearly departed episode of Timeline Stocks, Madrid's name will come up for sure.
Yeah.
He's like he's 3 characters at least. He's that diplomat in Star Trek 5. He's Gorkon, and he's still Madrid.
And he's someone else, isn't he?
That's all 3, isn't it?
Is
he 4? Big Van.
Just gonna quickly memory.
It's already in my memory or in my search history. St. John Talbot, Gorkon, and Madrid.
Oh, really? I could have sworn he played someone else. Anyway, never mind. Wishful thinking on my part.
Yeah, I would go Gloria.
I'd go Gloria here. Yeah, I feel like it's a smart choice. I'm kind of ashamed because I like that Culber in theory, but like he's just too limited now. He's really showing his age.
Yeah.
It's like if you are at the level where it would be like looks like a new player, most likely, or just someone that doesn't pull a lot of packs or something like that. You don't want to be starting someone that has nothing going for him but collections, just from star 1. If you have other options that have anything else that could give you anything else, so yeah, Gloria.
Well, we've hit the 3-hour limit. So it's time for last orders, and the landlord is sweeping the floors to kick us out now. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It's been great fun to get the 4 of us back together. Keep an eye out on the Discord, because we'll put our events up there. And I promise we won't take so long before we get to another Timelines Talks. I think we'll have one in about 3 weeks or so. But I might well try and get a bit more of a regular sync now.
That's not long? I'm dying for more.
But
we've had one Timelines Talks, but what about second Timelines Talks?
Next time on Lord of the Rings Talks, we'll get that when the Ring of Power starts, maybe.
Just put the little out marker here, and we'll do another 3 hours, and we'll splice it later.
That'll be for the subs only. So we've got end of the show. So just looking at the events page, because I forgot what I've scheduled. Next week we're going to be doing the Star Trek show, where we're talking about very specific Star Trek news and things that are going on in the Star Trek world. After that, Star Trek Legacy, and I think the week after that we'll do a Timelines Talks. I'll probably be doing a couple of streams, and keep an eye out. We're going to be starting some point soon when Big catches up. We'll be doing our Discovery Season 4 watch through, same way we did with our Strange New Worlds reviews, which if you haven't seen, go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/TimelinesTalks, and watch our Strange New Worlds reviews. We did a whole Season 1 recap, which was quite a lot of fun, actually.
Lots of fun. And
we're going to do a second recap, because I'm so sad.
I was going to say, if
I missed out,
if I can get these chuckleheads in order, we want to do a alternate take of our episode 10 recap, because there's just so much to talk about, and we like talking about it so much.
In hindsight, there's a bit more to go on, so that'll be good. But from myself and the guys for now, we will see you next time. Ta-ra!